That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Arbitrary Beach episode. I hope everyone's super excited about it, because I'm not. I'm Smiter Roscoe, here with the rest of the Mythos podcast and one half of the Roscoe brothers.
And I'm Jingles Roscoe. Hi. Please ignore me. I'm very body shy.
And good morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you guys are at. I am thoroughly enjoying my three-piece swimsuit right now. Also with us are constant professionals, our constant, all-knowing buddies and pals, starting with Pie Man here.
Well, to the beach episode, I brought my wooden sword and a watermelon.
Ooh!
You guys ready to bust it open?
We're going to get immersed in cultures. And of course, the super secret, the super elusive, extremely version exclusive secret boss of the apartment, Josh.
Guys, I'm really going outside of my comfort zone. I'm very arm shy. Please don't look at my forearms. They're very weird. Please don't pay attention to them.
Yeah, don't worry, Josh. We're all in a positive environment. Oh, what is that?
I said don't look at my forearms.
I'm sorry. You said you held them out and you said don't look at these. How am I not supposed to look at them?
Show some respect.
I'm sorry.
For your eyes. His eyes are up there.
Okay, my bad.
It's time for the most important part of the beach episode, and that is the rubbing sunscreen on someone's back scene.
Yes.
Nice. I hope you get underneath all three of my pieces.
Only if you pop the strings first and make me really uncomfortable.
Okay, ooh-woo.
Yes. We all have to, feel each other up because that's
true.
what we do in beach episodes.
You remember in Genshiken when the girls in the onsen were all like, I bet you the boys are looking at each other all lustfully. I bet you they keep trying to avert their gaze, but they keep like looking at each other sideways glances, and then it cuts to the boys' onsen, and one of them's like,
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's pretty cold.
I was going to say we're like stand rush punching each other.
That's what you do in the boys' locker room.
That's what you do in the boys' locker room.
So, first things first. Pie Man.
What?
You like anime? You ever seen any anime?
I've seen any anime. Have you seen this anime? It's
you-
crazy.
Have you
seen this?
Have you
anime?
heard of this thing called anime?
It's crazy.
It's this crazy new thing,
those,
man.
It's those cartoons from China, right?
Yeah, the Chinese cartoons, man. Those are pretty cool.
Don't remind me.
Everybody's
that
favorite manhwas.
Yeah.
Top 5 manhwas.
Manhwas.
Please don't remind me that parents used to say that to us. That they used to. No, that one coach was all like, "Is that Chinese?"
Reading those Chinese cartoons again?
Yep.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
That's
what we're
sure
doing.
what I'm doing.
I'm reading these cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
These cartoons from China. That's what this is.
So I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows this about us, about the group in general.
Yes.
But we really like anime.
Yeah.
Or at least we used to really love anime.
Yes.
And now we like it.
Now we like it.
Yes.
I would still say I love it. I'm just not devoted to it.
Fair enough.
Hopelessly
So this-
devoted
To you. I want to thank everybody for pouring in their brains, their heads, and their minds.
And their hearts.
They've
No.
lent us their mental.
Their massive mental for this one episode. I know none of the kids would know this about Pie Man, but when we were growing up, he was the guy.
He's
Still the guy.
He's still
Still
Yeah.
kind of the guy.
You wanted some anime? I'd hook you up, bro.
You would. And they were
like actually though.
you two first bonded over manga.
Yes.
Yes.
So here's a little fun story.
And it's true.
Pie Man and I first met each other in high school in math class, and he was reading the Dragon Ball manga, and I had never seen manga before, never heard of it, but I was very familiar with Dragon Ball Z, big fan, and this is a thing that we will always probably remember because we bring it up probably every few years or so, just because of how great of an exchange it was in the beginning of our eventual friendship. I came up to him and I was all like, "Oh man, is that Dragon Ball Z?" And he goes, "No, you idiot, it's Dragon Ball."
Yes.
And this was the beginning that this was our first exchange, and I was just like, this is going to be my best buddy.
I was a sour, bitter goth.
Yes.
You were trying your hardest to be cool.
I was really trying
by reading Dragon Ball.
to not fit in.
I identify with Paiman's point of view way more than I think I'd care to admit. Well, I mean, I'm admitting to it already, so regardless, yeah, that was, I tried to lean into the edge. The edge was taking me.
Yeah, we were all pretty edgy back in our middle school days. Middle school, high school?
Yeah, no, I'd agree. Late middle school, early high school.
Those are like your edge years.
Those are my edge years. That's when I was trying to channel the darkness within me.
Yeah, hanging out at the skate park with all the other punk kids.
Oh man, I
Wearing black.
no my
being
edge
sullen and angry.
my edge was always channeled through my hoodie,
Oh,
and I would
yeah.
always pull my hoodie forward.
Edgy hoodie.
And I loved having. I still have the hoodie. It's this big one with a big old hood that comes really low, and then I would just pull it full course as far as I could, so it would like just barely be below my eye line.
You had a Sith hood.
I had a Sith hood.
And then you turned around and walked straight into the door.
I found myself. I did that a couple of times, legitimately. And
Yeah, because you couldn't see.
because I couldn't see.
But you never put two and two together.
No.
No, never. No. But what I would do is that I would just find a place to sit by myself, like usually in like an auditorium or something, and just sit over in one corner and just watch everybody else, and then just seethe. I would seethe and brood.
Oh, he's so brooding. And all you're thinking about is must be broody.
Must be
dark.
It must be dark.
I'm gotta focus on being grim.
I was just thinking about how easy it would be to unleash the demon within me.
The darkness in my soul. It burns within me.
Unironically, Devil Trigger.
I love Devil Trigger.
Everyone loves Devil Trigger.
I love Devil Trigger.
Can't not.
Right. But there were a lot of really edgy anime edgelords there that you could really latch onto at that time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sasuke was the big one.
Sasuke was the most popular one. Definitely.
He was. Naruto was massive when we were in middle school and high school. And
Later high school.
Later high school.
Yeah, I was gonna say no.
Because we were still trying to work in Dragon Ball.
Middle school was Inuyasha.
Thank you. Thank you. Inuyasha. I still think fondly of that one.
So, I wanted to check with everybody, see, kind of go down, like, I guess a brief history about us and about anime. First thing I wanted to do was check with everybody. What was your first anime that you can, like, recall or think of?
I can leap right off of what you said off the bat, which is, for me, it was Naruto.
Nice.
So, like, it was introduced to me by my older brother. He just handed me, like, the manga one day. He was like, you probably like this. It's got, like, ninjas and stuff in it. And I was enamored with it when I was
He was right.
young.
He was very
I
correct.
was like, there are ninjas all over the place. And fast forward a good few years, and anybody that has caught up with Boruto knows Naruto got a little weird.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
And I feel like, because like from there I discovered Naruto, and anybody who knows about, I'm sure we'll talk about it, the big three at the time of like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece.
Exactly.
Naruto was kind of led me to discovering Bleach also, which Naruto, despite all its weirdness, has still good stuff that I can recommend in it. Bleach became straight doo-doo. It's one of the...
Straight Banthapoodoo.
I mean, when the creator doesn't want to do it anymore,
Yeah.
it's going to become doo-doo.
Yeah, so those were like the two those were like my two big ones.
Yeah.
Really quick, I just wanted to say, Poodoo? Poodoo is Hattis for fodder.
Yeah.
So people often get those confused. They think it means poopy.
No.
No, it's food.
It's fodder. It's fodder.
You're basically calling
Why
somebody
did,
a stack of hay.
why did I
wanted to
back
point
you
it
up
out
on that? Why did I back you up on
Because
that?
I wanted to clarify
Because I
that.
love Star Wars.
I'm so glad we could take a second to clarify this.
We have to mention Star Wars every episode. It's contractual. Remember when you signed your contracts?
No, it's
No.
Oh, is that what I did when I was drunk?
no, I don't. In fact, it was a really blurry haze, and I just
see-
remember my hand doing this.
I see the paper. I see my name. I don't remember this.
Anyway, sorry. Yes.
no, that's
Naruto
cool.
And Bleach.
Um,
Bleach was also crazy big.
yeah. Also, we're also including like anime with manga and
Right.
all that other stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
blanket terminology.
sure.
Yeah.
But I'll make the distinction for myself. I think my first anime that I ever really got into was Pokemon, and that hit me at the surgically at the right time. I was the perfect age for Pokemon,
Yeah.
and that hit me so hard and fast that and the worst part is that we didn't have a lot of money in those times. So I had to basically just scrounge for whatever I can. My first exposure to the anime was this old video store that we had here in town, where
You rented the show on cassette?
Yes.
Yeah.
3 episodes per cassette.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
3 episodes per
Yep.
cassette. And I actually think that some of the first... we actually bought a bunch of cassettes while we were growing up, too.
Yes.
They're somewhere around here. We've got the original series on cassette, not the full thing.
No.
We have
sporadic
the
episodes.
sporadic episodes of Johto as well.
Oh, okay.
And and I finally, later on, got the entirety of the Indigo League on DVD, as well as Pokemon the first movie.
It's right back there.
I know. I love it.
Oh, well, that.
I love it. And
Vacations where I wanna be.
dude, they dreamed of creating the world's most powerful Pokemon. And they succeeded.
Louis loves Mewtwo, by the way.
Does he?
Everybody does.
He's the most
Almost
powerful.
as much as Charizard.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
They didn't have Mewtwo in the new game, but I guess they're bringing him back now.
Yeah.
Is he the most powerful? I mean, we have
So
Statistically
many.
speaking,
we have God.
Yeah. Arceus.
Yeah.
Arceus is objectively trash. No,
We
I
have,
have
we
no
have
idea.
the forces of space and time.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have the very concepts of light and darkness.
We
Yes.
have the living embodiment of joy, sadness, and anger.
But Mewtwo's still the most powerful.
Because he's Frieza.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yes, yes.
Because his IVs are out of control.
Yeah, that was actually the secret. They just got like Mew DNA
Yeah.
cloned a Mew,
Yeah.
and then just Ivy trained him.
And it became
perfectly.
Mewtwo.
Min-max the eye levels. Pumped it full
That's
of
what happened.
supplements.
They had to make sure to hatch a whole bunch of them to make sure that they had the right nature.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It took a long time.
Look,
They were gonna try and get a shiny, but they were like, I think this is far.
We're gonna have to cut our losses here.
Turns out Mewtwo is just a shiny Mew.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's been Ivy trained.
They made sure that they infected him with Pokerus.
Yes.
It was
So
a
that they could
Kanto
get
form
maximum
Mew.
stat growth.
Oh, man, Pokerus.
So you mentioned the VHSs that
Yes.
we have, which we still have in a box somewhere.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really thought was really cool and interesting when we started getting Johto Journeys on VHS was that the Johto Journeys cases came in gold and silver
Yeah.
cases.
Yeah.
I was
They
like,
sure did.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Injection mold plastic. Mm-mm.
And I was like,
It's poisonous.
that's super cool.
My favorite kind of old school toys are the ones that you find out later on were discontinued because they were hazardous for children.
Yep.
Like back when toys were made of lead.
Well,
Yep.
you know, on the subject of Pokemon, you remember those Burger King Pokemon toys?
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Remember
Yeah.
a few of them? Yeah.
I have a Pikachu that's a top, but it's a weird sort of revving thing that you have
Yeah.
to do with it. Because
Yeah, fast food places use those rev tops quite a bit.
yeah,
for-
I still got one.
I also remember
Those are
the they gave you like a Pokeball, and inside of it, it was like a gold plated like Pokemon card.
Yeah, those were promotional. You could get them from there. But I'm thinking of the ones that came in the meals.
Yep.
Yes.
They all came in those plastic Pokeballs, and there were, I think, a few local recalls on those toys because like babies would suffocate.
Oh,
on
sure.
The ball top.
Dude, the babies are stupid. They'll always put that in their mouths.
Yeah. Babies are dumb.
But my first exposure to manga, I was about to say Dragon Ball as well. But I unfortunately remembered. This is a very loose sort of qualification, but I'm bringing it up for memory's sake. Any manga.
Yes.
I think the first manga I ever read was Pokemon the first movie, the Ani manga.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good.
Yeah,
Any manga is
we don't
isn't
need
ever
to
good.
ever discuss that particular form of media ever again.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that for that now. However,
kidding.
if it wasn't the Ani manga, it would have been Dragon
It
Ball.
was just a printed book of somebody taking pictures of the TV screen.
It really is.
It's like not even good quality
No,
photos.
no. They're like taking it
I
out.
remember the Avatar: The Last Airbender's any manga.
Mhm.
I remember holding it
Ugh.
and like flipping through it. I
Yeah.
never bought it,
Yeah,
but it was like,
yeah.
And they always manage to get pictures of the animation while they're tweening,
yeah,
Yeah, so occasionally you get like a noodle arm man.
yep.
Oh man.
like a
That's
mono
not
eye.
Yeah.
I really want to read a Annie manga of the Naruto versus Pain fight.
Oh,
Just because those are like two clay people fighting each
Yeah.
other.
they really are.
It's very interesting. Thing
But,
there. But yeah,
I think that's it for me. I think that was some of my first bits of exposure. I'm trying to trace back around that time that I happened upon the anime manga because I feel like I had some exposure to manga, but I can't place the series or anything like that.
Mhm.
But I feel like there's still an impression of some still images somewhere in my head.
hmm and I was talking about it earlier.
Mhm.
My first experience with manga, obviously, was because Pie-Man.
Really? That was the first time you'd ever seen
That's
manga
the
before?
first time I'd ever seen manga. I was all like, I've seen anime. I didn't know it came in comic book form.
Right?
That
Oh
was
wow!
like-
They made a comic of Dragon Ball.
They made a comic book of this?
I didn't know that was your very first experience with it. Huh.
Yeah,
Wow.
you got him hooked.
Oh man, I feel responsible for a lot of bad stuff now. No.
But early anime,
Yes.
I'm surprised you didn't think about it. Flying House,
Oh, thank
Superbook?
you. Yes.
two Christian-based animes
How crazy is that?
created by Tatsunoko.
Yeah.
And so,
Versus SNK. Sorry, please continue.
Capcom.
Or was it Capcom versus
It was-
Tatsunoko?
Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that was very early, and
That's
we
a
still
strong pick.
we have one VHS that has stood the test of time in Flying House, and I love it. It's like legitimately like not a bad show,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
still really enjoyed it. Flying House focused on New Testament, specifically the everything that Jesus did. And then Superbook goes through the Old Testament and focuses on stuff that happened in the Old Testament.
Right.
Oh, the
Right.
good meaty stuff.
The real
Juicy
meaty stuff.
stories.
But I loved I liked Flying House a lot more than Superbook.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I liked the characters more.
Yeah.
And the stories I think were just funner. But that was very early. Still remember the theme song. Just an absolute fire theme song.
It was really good.
I loved it.
It still stands up, I think.
I agree. Yeah, Pokemon very early. Like Pokemon came out when we were 10.
It
was like perfect age,
Yeah.
and so Pokemon we fell in love.
You were
with.
10, you were ready to go on your Pokemon
We
journey.
were like I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave home and catch Pokemon now, and then we went to middle school and whatever.
Yeah, everybody was waiting for their Hogwarts letter or to go on their Pokemon journey in those days.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're absolutely 100% correct.
We were
Because
ready.
I was in middle school when Harry Potter first came out.
Or waiting to be a Hokage.
Yeah, in your case, yeah.
Yeah.
I was already like later high school years when Naruto came out,
Yeah.
so it was like
I could, to be fair, also wrap Pokemon into all that. I just can't remember if it was before or after Naruto.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But that was also very early. I just know the game came first for me than the anime.
Yeah.
For us, the anime was first with Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh man, they make games out of the TV show? That's awesome.
Yeah.
And they're like, why isn't the name Ash and Gary and,
What's Satoshi?
What's a Satoshi?
Why do you start with a Pikachu?
Yeah. Why can't I choose Pikachu as my starter?
Because you didn't buy yellow.
That's right. And then he got yellow.
And I was the best.
Yep. So yeah, that was like my earliest exposures to anime. Was that Sailor Moon, and then Metabots.
Metabots.
Oh yeah, Metabots.
Oh man.
We really liked that first season Metabots. Zatch Bell. A lot of the stuff that came out on Kids WB.
Yeah. And then later we poured into
And
Toonami.
you guys remember Foxbox?
What?
Foxbox.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was the Fox.
Yes.
Fox
Absolutely.
Kids before Fox Kids.
Oh, yes, I do. I do the
Digimon
entire
came
block. Yeah,
Digimon came out. We watched that as well.
that's true.
All these shows, the original Beyblade.
I respect Louis.
Rip.
I respect Louis' stick-to-itiveness when it comes to Beyblade.
He legitimately loves Beyblade.
Because he loves the entirety of Beyblade.
Man, he
like,
loves
not
Beyblade
even
so much.
like, oh, this is trash, or like, don't do that. It's like, no, do all of Beyblade.
Is he into the tops too?
He loves them.
He has a few tops, and he's
yeah.
very proud of them. He recently, in a discussion on the Discord server, he was, because they've been showing production stills for the new season of Burst, and he's all like, look, the main character's dressed just like he was in the first season.
I don't
He's
know.
like breaking down the outfit and breaking down like the upgrade to his bay.
Yes.
He could probably have a pretty successful YouTube channel talking about Beyblade.
I would legitimately watch it. Louis,
Louis.
I know you're listening because you listen to all our stuff.
Yes.
If you made like Beyblade related content only on your YouTube channel, I'd watch that.
We need somebody to break down the Beyblade lore,
Please.
which stretches as far back as the Old Testament.
Can you
Thank
can
you.
you please explain how Moses split the Red Sea using a Beyblade, please? That'd be great.
I
Thank you.
forgot about that.
My favorite part about that shot is that like it's not an old top like a Drayl or anything.
No,
it's
a
like a
new
modern
one.
Beyblade.
It's just a Beyblade. They've been around since the ancient days.
I would have loved it so much if, like, at the end of Assassin's Creed 2, when you get your hands on the Apple of Eden, it opens up and there's just a Beyblade inside of it.
Yeah, exactly.
God, I love toy animes.
Yeah,
Did you guys
Bakugan?
ever see Battle Beat 'em On?
I have seen
I've
Battle
heard of
Beat 'em
it,
On.
yeah.
Oh man,
I didn't like Battle Beat 'em On.
I did. I thought it was cool, even though I was way too old for it.
Yes, there was some shows that I held on to when I was like, I'm too old for this.
Yeah, I was like, I'm way too old for
I
this.
think I finally quit watching the really young kids animes when Fighting Foodons came out, and I was just like, I hate this.
You decided you had seen enough. It was time to leave.
Yeah, it was all like, I think it's time for big boy anime. It's just Dragon Ball Z from now on, and all the stuff coming out from Shonen Jump, because Shonen Jump can do no wrong.
No, Shaman King. Let's read Shaman King.
Actually, I heard Shaman King's pretty great, and I never
That's what
actually
I've
watched
heard.
Shaman King,
Yeah.
and that was one of those shows that I missed.
Yeah.
What about you, Pie Man?
Yeah.
Early.
First manga, first anime.
I got all you guys beat.
Yeah, you
My
do.
first anime was 1980s Angel Cop.
Thank
What?
you. Yeah, that's the right reaction. Like when Pieman says he knows anime, this
See,
is what.
I thought I was being obscure with Flying House.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I only saw it by chance. It wasn't like I set out to go watch it or anything.
You were already an artiste and a connoisseur before you.
I was like 10.
That's what I'm saying. I just imagine little tiny Pieman with like a little handsome like suit with his fingers interlaced in front of him and goes up to the guy at the counter. Yes, I was wondering if I might be able to procure your finest copy of Angel Cop.
I have seen tape 1 and 2. I would like tape 3 now, please. Post haste.
Go, cashier.
Oh, staunch yeoman.
And then that's when the cashier looks over at his manager and he's like, "Oh no, it's this kid again."
No, it was completely by chance. I had a friend whose parents basically let him have anything, and so we rented it from a video store. And it's not an anime for kids.
I believe that.
It's like a hardcore fighting anime. Like it's got the same sort of anime 80s fight art style as like Fist of the North Star.
Oh,
But it's
okay.
it's interesting.
Must have been a North Star like.
There were quite a bit back then,
Yeah.
weren't there? Yeah.
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 Hakuto no Ken.
I mean, even JoJo's Bizarre Adventure started off as that.
You're correct.
Yeah.
JoJo's did start off as a
As a fist-like.
as
A fist
like as Super Eye Patch Wolf refers to it as if Fist of the North Star was written by an insane person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, he uses the panel of Zeppeli punching the frog as an example.
And then the frog being fine, but the boulder splitting.
Yep. Which I think that's how Sendo works, but I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's whatever.
I am going to sendo my energy through it.
I find a lot of people forget that
Yeah.
Sendo is the art of fighting with Hamon.
Yeah.
Thank
Hamon
you.
is just
the
using light.
Is
Yeah.
the energy.
Is the light energy. Fighting using Hamon is
and then
called
the
Sendo.
show itself forgets to call it Sendo.
Yeah, then they just like
Pushes up
Hamon.
glasses. Actually,
Yes.
Hamon is just the energy.
Yeah, people forget
Yeah.
that.
So we can get that white elephant out of the room right away. Everyone here has kept up with JoJo also.
Yes,
That's
yes,
true.
we have
The
I
anime,
haven't.
at least.
the anime, not
Yeah,
the manga.
the anime. I started with the manga and then moved to the anime.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, Josh is actually killing it in by like what is it, part 7 that you're in, or what part are you in?
I started a little bit with part 7. I haven't finished it.
Gotcha.
Have you
Okay.
watched
I
Steel Ball
was
Run
just double
yet?
checking. Yeah.
Nobody's watched it.
Steel Ball Run doesn't exist
Oh,
as an anime
It
yet.
hasn't been animated yet?
No,
Okay.
I
Part
just
6 is next.
no. There's I just found I found like a rip of it online, and which as soon as it is available somewhere, I will get it because part 7 is killer.
Part 7 is considered one of the best just
Yeah.
manga
Yeah.
and of ever.
Are there still remote stands? Because if there's still remote stands, I'm not ever going to read it.
I actually don't know because I never
Can say neither yay or nay on
I
that.
can't really say yay or
Okay.
nay.
Because I won't lie, remote stands kind of killed JoJo for me.
Did they?
Yeah, that was the whole thing about fighting with stands. Is it's all or nothing.
Yep.
It's a huge risk.
Yep.
It's
I
still,
would
it's
invite
still
you to
kind of
reconsider that.
I feel like it's still kind of a puzzle in a fight to try and get around how this remote stand works.
I like that. Yeah.
I think we'll get more into JoJo
Yeah.
a little
Sure.
bit later
We
on.
could do
Yeah.
an entire episode just
We
on
could
JoJo.
do an entire episode of just
But
JoJo.
this entire episode is about just anime.
yeah,
Okay.
we got to get
Which
through
is so much
anime.
bigger than JoJo.
Stop talking about JoJo!
Yeah, I would be so down to do a JoJo episode.
I
would be
know
great.
at least one other person outside of this podcast that would be super down to also be part of that. But we'll also talk more about that later.
Yes.
Like that's not set in stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pieman, Angel Cop.
Yes!
First anime.
First anime, Angel Cop.
Angel Cop.
First manga.
Manga? Oh, that's a tougher one. Bubblegum Crisis, I think.
Oh, cool.
Again, what is that?
Yeah, that's one I've heard of.
Yeah, me too. I've heard of that too.
Please
It's
explain.
a classic. It's a future cop semi Sentai kind of thing.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Adam Warren did the inking for the American release,
Yes.
and I read it in like I can't remember. Was it Dark Horse that did it?
I think
That
so.
printed it.
Dark
I
Horse
think
put out a lot.
I think it was Dark Horse, but it was when they were still doing it in like comic book format. So it was like a comic book. It was like 30 pages an issue, and it was released like in monthly issues. Dark Horse did do a lot of that. I that's where I read Angel Cop. I think that's where I first read Maya the Psychic Girl.
Oh right.
I
Yeah,
remember
you
that.
showed me that manga.
I have I think I still have a few. Of
that was a
the
cool one.
original issues.
That was one of those manga that because again.
Yeah, I
Pieman-
can't remember his name. That artist, I liked a lot of his
Wonderful.
work, like Crying Freeman.
Yeah, he was that hitman that would kill somebody and then he would weep because he because he didn't want to kill anybody.
Yeah.
But
Why was he a
super good at
hitman?
He was
He was
forced
good
into
at it. It was the only
Okay.
thing he could do.
That's unfortunate.
That was the big tragedy of it all. That was the tragedy of his character.
And most of the stories, he's like forced into situations where he
Yeah.
has to kill people.
Yeah.
Most of it is like, I'm trying to live on my own as a painter,
Yeah.
and an artist, but I keep getting... It was John Wick, basically. I keep
Yeah.
getting pulled into the world of,
Yeah.
of crime.
People keep killing his dog.
Essentially. They keep kidnapping his girlfriend.
They
or,
keep threatening his life,
Yeah. Or killing his family.
or killing his girlfriend, family, and his life.
Kidnapping his girlfriend's dog.
Man, John Wick is just a couple steps away from being anime.
Well, it already
is
is.
anime, yeah.
I spoke to
Exactly what it is.
I spoke to Roscoe's sister about John Wick recently, and because she and her boyfriend, they finally wrapped it up, and I asked them because they were explaining the trilogy to me, and they were like, "So basically, long and short, just don't mess with his dog."
Yeah.
That's basically the whole trilogy.
Or imagine just him in general.
Yeah, just don't mess with his dog. So
No, well, I mean that's a suspension of disbelief you have to have for John Wick. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, you know that guy who was the best at killing people and can kill anyone ever, anytime he wants? Let's go mess with him.
let's go super
Yeah.
duper mess with him.
Yes. So I'm reading here. Bubblegum Crisis started as an anime
Oh,
and then got a comic book / manga version that was indeed published by Dark Horse.
Okay, it was Dark Horse.
Okay.
Nice.
I thought it was.
have you seen this
It's
thing?
a Bubblegum Crisis Grand Mall. Was produced by Adam Warren.
Grand Mal Tarkin?
Yeah, Grand Mall.
Dang it!
And
You mean Darth
I'm
Maul
sorry.
talking?
Adam Warren did a ton of stuff
Yeah.
with the earlier like manga adaptations.
Yeah,
of a lot
he
of
also
things.
did Dirty Pair.
Yeah, he did Dirty Pair, which is also great,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he did Seraphic Feather, which is interesting.
Did Gen
It's
13.
definitely not something everybody would like, but it's cool in its own right.
Yeah, but yeah, it's man, it's so convenient to have the internet.
It is, isn't it? To be able to just reach out and grab all of this.
So yeah, that's very cool. Bubblegum Crisis and Angel Cop.
Nice.
Very cool.
What would you guys say? Like, it doesn't matter how big the list is necessarily, but I mean, be conservative as much as you can. What would you consider to be some of your favorite anime and manga, like in each category? For me, I can say for myself, my favorite manga is probably Genshiken.
Strong pick.
The original run of Genshiken.
That is a strong pick.
Not the new version.
Not second
Not the new
season.
I don't like it as much as I like the old one.
No, I don't either.
I agree.
I still like it though.
I do. I actually still do like it. My coochie key makes me want to die.
Oh, shoot. So before I forget, last podcast we made the joke that Pieman's name is actually part of a much larger word that we just squished together and we cut out the middle.
Yeah.
Genshiken is a prime example of that.
Yeah. Of
So
the Japanese doing that.
Genshiken, the full phrase, I'm not going to try to say it in Japanese, but translated the full phrase is the Society for the Study of Modern Visual Culture.
Yeah, that's what it translates to. Gendai Shikaku Bunka Kenkyukai, which is the Society for the Study of
Modern Visual
Modern
Culture.
Yeah,
You pronounced that all correctly, right?
I'm pretty sure that was 100%. Tony, if I was wrong, just say wrong in the
Just-
comments. That's it.
That's it. That's the only comment you need to leave.
Gendai Shikaku Bunka Kenkyukai.
Why are you a fighting game announcer?
Because that's the only way because that's the only way to do it.
It is. It is. It's the
Oh.
best voice.
My favorite anime, I would say
Cory in the
JoJo.
House.
JoJo is really sweet.
Cory in the house.
It's
Yeah, of course, Cory in the house.
it's like a three-way fight between JoJo, Dragon Ball Z, and Howl's Moving... No, not Howl's Moving Castle. Castle in the Sky.
Castle in the Sky is,
I was gonna say, you better not say Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah, right.
You want to pick a Ghibli film? There's
Yeah,
a
that.
lot of others
Castle
you should choose
in
from
the
first.
Castle in the Sky.
That's
the
a
one
good
that had
one.
Mark
Laputa.
Hamill in it.
Laputa.
Laputa.
Castle.
I am going... Now I am ready to lackadaisically sort of shift this ball into somebody else's direction.
I'll take
Whoever
it.
wants- Okay, here we go.
I'll take it.
All right.
Peace!
Na, na, na.
We can't! It has to happen! References every time.
Reverse it. And when we try to talk about Star Wars, we talk about wrestling.
You know
when
what?
we try to talk about wrestling, we talk about anime.
You guys knew this was how we are from the beginning.
I did.
And you still wanted
We've
to
been
do this.
pretty transparent.
Yeah, I think, I
Pretty good
think
about
we've
that.
been pretty transparent about it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Favorite anime, I would have to say also probably JoJo and probably DBZ. It's probably right there with each other. As series go.
Which version of DPC?
Kai. because
Kai is very good.
it cuts out the guff, the extra, the chaff. It's all cut out. It's just the
It
wheat
cuts
at
out
that
the
point.
Chaz.
Look,
the
man,
Chaz Prince.
sometimes you don't need Princess Snake.
Sometimes you don't need Princess Snake.
You don't need to fall off a snake way and hang out with ogres and find Cell and a bunch of other stuff.
That's DBZ
Sometimes-
specifically. I like Dragon Ball. Okay, I think that's
Yeah.
fine.
Sometimes you don't need the driving test episode.
Yeah, Genshiken was a really good choice for manga. It does have problems, but I do like it a lot. And I think mainly because it helped really define us as fans of anime in high school. And really, like, kind of show us who we are and be proud of it. And introduce us to the term otaku.
It did, which we wore as a badge of courage.
Honor.
We shouldn't have.
Yeah, we shouldn't
We
have.
really shouldn't have.
And then you found out years later what the connotation actually meant.
Well, it wasn't even that bad.
Well,
it
we,
was us.
we knew that going
Yeah.
into it, but
Yeah.
We did our research.
It was supposed. It was like that whole readopting the term as your own thing.
Yeah.
Although it was still kind of cringe.
It's
You chose the
still
life.
Really
We
cringe.
chose, yeah.
As far as artwork goes, I've been really enjoying Wacky Macky. I think it's been really
And for
good.
people that don't know what Wacky Macky is.
No, I'm not going to explain it.
So you're just not going to tell them what you're reading.
I'm kidding. My Hero Academia.
Boku no Academia.
Boku no Hero Academia.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you can
Okay.
continue
Well,
on
so-
with your chocolate chip macadamia.
So it's
Thank you.
really annoying because there's like purist fans that only call it Boku no Hero Academia
Yeah.
and then there's the people that are like, just call it My Hero Academia.
Mm-hmm.
Just call it that.
Yeah.
now people,
So,
yeah, that's irritating.
so I've decided to split the difference and just call it Boku no Wacky Macky.
Yep.
And that's what I refer to it as, and funnily
Yeah.
enough, like, some of the kids also start calling it that. And when somebody's all like, they'll be in streams when I'm going to friends' streams, not really our streams, but streams of, like, S-Comic Maker. There'll be kids that are like, anybody here watch Boku no Hero Academia? Or they'll just be BHA.
Yeah.
That's even worse because
Yeah.
that's just like
Anybody here watch BHA?
that's just
And I'm
not
just all
what
like,
it
oh,
is.
son, we call it Boku no Wacky Macky here. But the art in that, Horikoshi's art has been beautiful. And I like to go through a lot of different manga and just check out the art styles of so many of them because that's what really got me into really starting to draw more in my life. And now Smider and I are working on our first webcomic.
And now we're all the way here where we own our own comic company.
And
Could you somebody please just hand me a tissue so I can wipe these tears?
oh, you got a bunch around you.
Thank you.
Some of them may have been used.
High five?
High five.
High five. All right.
Don't high five that. That wasn't a deserved high five.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be supportive.
No, don't support that.
I'm sorry. Forgive me, my lord. Forgive me.
You're part of the problem.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I thought.
So, it's hard to really narrow down what my favorite manga is, but definitely just Dragon Ball Z. My Hero Academia has been really great. And, a whole bunch of others that I don't feel like really getting too deep into right now.
Okay.
But yeah, those are kind of what I'm super into at the moment.
Sure. Yeah. And now we do a nice soft layup. We're letting him know that it's coming to you, Josh. So just put your hands up, and we'll just throw it into your hands. No. Now catch it. There you go. Okay. There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good work.
This is a good solid layup. My brothers had to do that to me when I was growing up.
Guys, get ready for this sick segue. Now it's on to me. There you go. Seamless. Yeah, so as far as anime goes, I'd probably also say JoJo. Because JoJo is... I could also say that for the manga, but I feel like the anime does a lot more justice to the series than the manga does, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's also how I got back into anime, because I actually fell off of anime for quite a while.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've been a little bit quiet so far on this podcast. That's because it's actually because I don't have nearly as much experience with anime and manga as everybody else here.
Mm-hmm. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm sure there's going to be a handful of people that are listening and they're like, "What? I don't know what any of this is. What the heck is Angel Cop?"
It's totally fine. If anybody that's listening knows more about anime, we'll take your application. Replace Josh.
But yeah, I would definitely say for anime JoJo. That whole thing has just been a wild ride that I've been enjoying every second of. Mm-hmm. Manga's kind of difficult also. I'm not even...
The Manga Testament?
The manga.
Yeah. Because I don't know if it's my favorite, but I do have a lot of really fond memories of Trigun.
Nice. Yeah.
Like the manga specifically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was exposed to the anime of that first on Toonami.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, I thought that was so neat. Because it was all it's like the Wild West, but in space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much is $double?
Yeah, how much is that in American?
How much is that?
You just take one of the dollars out of your $double, and then you get $1.
Oh, you're so right.
Oh, you're so right. I was not prepared for this math.
That makes so much sense. Yeah, man. Those are some strong choices, though. Trigun's super good.
Yeah.
It is very good.
It was also probably one of the first times I've seen an anime action hero that didn't behave like an action hero I knew at the time.
Yeah, Vash is not what you expect him to be.
Yeah,
and I really appreciated that when I was first getting into it, because I was all like, he's kind of a coward.
Yeah,
but he's also a pacifist.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because he's the best.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they even find a way to make it later on when things are getting really bad and he starts fighting more. They make his transition to that make more sense. They go from him being full coward to him fighting some of the bigger bad guys like Knives and stuff. It makes sense that he's fighting them rather than just flipping the switch into full kill mode.
Well, I mean, it's the Wild West trope of the guy who swore he'd never gunfight again, being forced back into his old ways.
Yeah.
Trying to get out of this life.
It also reminds me of Kenshin in many ways.
A little bit.
Yeah. Raponi Kent? No. I'm not going to... No.
Why?
I know. I'm sorry. It was already out. I couldn't stop.
You tried to catch it, but you couldn't.
With Pepperoni Ken.
Pepperoni Ken.
There was this... It's just a really obscure joke of Raponi Kenshin. It's just Ramoni Kenshin, but with ponies.
But it is ponies.
Really? You went for the pony reference and not calling him Rapukin?
Rapukin.
I've clearly failed this city.
The Batansai?
The Batosai?
Batosai.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's also a very similar concept with that character
Well,
too.
all Wild West tropes are just samurai story tropes.
You're so right.
Yeah.
Like, actually, though,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
very, very similar to each other.
Seven Samurai, Magnificent Seven, Lone Wolf and Cub, The Mandalorian.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's okay.
It's a
Don't think
space
that's
western.
1-to-1.
Come on now. Come on now.
Cowboys versus Ninjas.
Yeah. Damn. Ninjas.
I didn't watch that one. It looked like trash.
They got Jeffrey Rush to be a part
And I
of
watched Cowboys versus Aliens.
I was going to ask you
Yeah.
if you'd seen that one.
I watched that one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Actually, cool concept.
Yes,
Bad
absolutely.
movie. I just, really quick, because I thought it was really cool that the reason that the aliens were coming and like killing off everybody was because they wanted the gold.
That's true.
So like,
yeah.
and somebody was all like, "It's as valuable to them as it is to us." And
Oh yeah.
I was all like, "That's cool." And the way that they like extracted gold,
It's just like almost just hover pulling it
yeah,
out of
just
the
pulling
ground.
it,
Yeah.
like sucking it out. It was so cool. Anyway, sorry. Bad movie.
Bad movie.
We'll have to make
it.
it. We'll need to have a bad movie
Yeah.
episode one time. I think.
Yeah.
For Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah,
the entirety-
just review Cowboys and Aliens.
The lore of Cowboys and Aliens.
That'd be fun to just
The
like
extended
rapid fire
backstory.
bad movies right after each other.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because oh boy, we've seen some real stinkers.
real stinkers.
So Pie Man,
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Favorite anime
My favorite anime?
and manga.
Well, I've read way more manga than I have seen anime, so
Fair
I
enough.
have a much smaller pool to pull from as
Okay.
far as anime is concerned. But if I had to take a pick, I really like Gundam Thunderbolt. That's pretty good.
Neat.
Although I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
Mhm.
Maybe. God, this is rough. So rough. It's hard to pick. Oh, my brain. It's just.
It's so
That is-
swollen, my brain.
That is a really hard question.
I'm riffing through all the files, desperately trying to come up with an answer for corporate. Someone misfiled the paperwork, I think.
It is. You need to get it on his desk by Monday.
I'd say. Okay, so I really, really, really enjoyed Space Pirate Mito.
Oh shoot! Wow.
Have you guys
yeah,
ever seen
no,
Space
that
Pirate
takes me
Mito?
back. Just like wow,
haven't.
that's one of those old school styles.
old school.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably going to be a running theme with me.
That's fine.
So,
Yeah.
so you better get used to it. No, but Space Pirate Mito is a lot of fun, and manga-wise, I think you made a great pick with Genshiken. It's a solid series.
Thank you.
Strong.
Thank you.
I would recommend it to everyone.
Thank you, my lord.
Well,
By the way, it was
teenagers and higher, preferably.
yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, the reason why I keep making that joke is because it was in a time of middle school and high school where we realized how much more Pieman knew about anime and manga than the rest of us, that we started referring to him as the otaku lord of of where we lived.
And that's kind of stuck.
It's really
Since
stuck.
And I hate it.
Since however many years it's been since high school.
You
Yeah.
guys should really stop it, but you haven't. You've been unrelenting, and you just caused me so much agony.
I just keep bringing you gifs of the severed heads of insurgents. You're every time. Why are you never happy when I do that?
People who would usurp my throne. Yeah, no, I'm not big on that. You know, it's like I don't like my cat bringing in dead mice. I don't want you dropping severed heads on the floor.
And they're like, look, I brought you a present, and we also murdered their family just to be sure, so that none of their genes would rise again.
They'll never stand in your way of your glorious power.
No! Sorry, manga.
Yeah.
Manga.
Genshin.
Yeah. Oh, Genshiken?
No, not
Okay,
Genshiken.
yeah, okay.
Ranma 1/2.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
No, I really loved Takahashi's mangas.
I was gonna say Takahashi, very good manga author.
Like One Pound Gospel, I thought was really awesome.
Cool. What was the mansion one?
Meson Ikoku.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Meson
Meson
It's
Ikoku.
not. It's not a
Yeah.
mansion. It's an apartment complex.
Yeah,
Right.
It's not Ikitausen either.
Yeah. That's not in my favorites at all.
Oh, sure, not. Yeah.
Not at all.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool.
I think the only thing I never really got into from her was Mermaid Saga, because it just wasn't really for me.
Okay.
Urusei Yatsura?
Yeah, I actually own most of the series.
Did
Yes.
that also have nudity in that one?
No.
I was surprised in
Most
how
of them
like
do.
how comfortable she is. It seems to be she is with doing nudity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know if that was just expected of her.
Well,
or...
it seems like Japan in general isn't as like uppity about boobers as we are.
Well, nudity's funny.
Nudity
can be funny.
Yeah.
Ask Akira Toriyama.
Oh yeah,
oftentimes
oftentimes it's
is
hilarious.
Yeah.
Like these shows and manga are for kids,
That.
but I can't begin to tell you how many times I've seen Gohan's stuff and Goku's
his
stuff.
bits.
I've seen Krillin's stuff.
I've seen Krillin's stuff.
You've seen Krillin's Silly Zone, and we don't want to see it again.
Like too much of
Too many silly zones about
too
the
many
place.
silly zones.
Like,
but no, it's funny though.
I remember when I watched Bio Broly and they moon Bio Broly and they just have they just got their coin purses out. Like, wow, okay.
You're like, this is for kids.
Yeah.
Didn't you say like you had to protect innocent eyes around you at the time?
Well, my siblings also like Dragon Ball Z, and
Yeah.
so they were watching it with me, and we're just watching this, and suddenly they got their stuff hanging out.
Yep.
I was like, you can't see
You
this.
can't see this, kids.
I feel like in that
can't look at
context, that was just dumb kid humor.
Yeah.
Oh, it always is.
Yeah.
That's what it's meant to be, but it's like here in the United States, no.
No.
People's sensitivities are a little different.
But over
Yeah.
in Japan, little boys doing that is funny.
Yeah.
And
Like, look at this little kid running around the neighborhood
Yeah.
without his diaper.
yeah, and so it's just funny how
Yeah.
that's one of those culture things.
They have the popular kids game where you just run around and shove your finger up people's butts.
Yeah.
Because it's funny.
Yeah,
Because you're like, ha ha, look at his reaction. So I guess in that context, I guess that makes sense for it being kid humor.
Yeah.
It's just a different subcultures.
Yeah.
And
Different cultures.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. That's my only explanation for it.
That's it.
And by the way, kids, don't run around. Don't do that. Don't shove your
no.
finger up people's butts. It's not funny.
It's
Don't
not
do it.
funny. Don't concho people.
don't
don't.
concho.
Does anybody? Nobody does that.
No.
No.
We hope they don't.
Yeah,
No.
I hope
Well, we're
not.
telling people don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't concho people.
Although there have been times when I
It's just that arcade game. That's the only thing.
yeah, exactly.
I'm actually really excited and fascinated to see where the questions we are going to be going.
Yes.
Yes.
But before we move on to the
Yes.
questions,
Of course.
we have to talk about, because all four of us, while we were younger, were fascinated with anime and manga.
Mm-hmm.
We're just like, this is the greatest form of entertainment ever created. But we all kind of fell off at some point.
I see where you're going.
And we've all kind of stepped away from that life.
Right.
We've all kind of since come back and have
Yeah.
rejoined the fold, as it were.
Yeah.
But I'd like us all to discuss what
Okay.
series or what event, just whatever it was it that made you not look at manga and anime as the best thing ever?
What ruined it for us?
I wouldn't say ruined it, because if it was
Yeah.
completely ruined, we wouldn't
Yeah.
come back. But definitely,
Like, what hurt our enthusiasm for it?
yeah.
Or at least ruined for a period of time.
Yeah, for a
Yeah.
period of time.
Okay. I'll
Oh, you want to go first?
yeah, why not? I'll try. I'll try to go first. For me, I think it was just an influx of popular tropes. Like, I started becoming aware of more and more tropes happening more and more in anime, and honestly, my enthusiasm took a big, nasty hit And I mean, this is just my opinion. So I mean,
Yeah, this is
you
all
can
opinion.
only you can only get so mad at me. My enthusiasm took a big nasty hit when Sword Art Online dropped,
Oh no!
and
Sword Art
I
did it to you?
Sword Art did me in for a good long while, and honestly, I'd also throw in the later parts of Naruto in there too.
Mm-hmm.
It became so overwhelmingly it so overwhelmingly contradicted a bunch of the stuff that happened in earlier Naruto that I couldn't stand it. I had to take a big step away. But Sword Art Online took all of the popular tropes that people really, really, really liked and were really excited about at the time that I didn't like, and just put them all in one series.
Right.
And it really killed it for me for a good long while. And but I'm happy to say that I haven't given up on anime or manga, but that definitely took a big nasty hit to me. That and High School of the Dead.
Yeah.
High School of the Dead took a big nasty hit out of me.
I remember that.
Was it the boob acrobatics that did it?
Now, I've told you boys before, I'm an opine man at heart. High School of the Dead almost ruined anime for me.
Yes.
That should tell you everything. I've told you boys before what I like. But that almost completely ruined it for me. It was just garbage.
Yeah.
I feel like it's garbage. I don't like it, and I'm terribly sorry. I'm sure. I know that there's a lot of people that still really like it, but
You didn't like the artwork at all?
Like what did I say earlier? I'm an opine man, and it almost ruined it for me.
Really? Okay. Well, I mean, some people like.
No,
like
the art is,
style. I know
mean-
it's not for everybody. It's never been my favorite, but
Yeah.
The art is sultry, and the art is well done. Everything else about that thing just falls apart. It's just
well, it was never there to begin with.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like all of it put together almost ruined it for me.
I don't think it was ever meant to be.
Well, here's the
What,
thing.
what is this? A critical look at it, or what
No,
ruined it
no,
for
no.
me?
I mean, I was just saying. I don't think it was ever really meant
You gonna
to
defend
be
Sword Art Online next?
high-minded.
I remember specifically when that show was coming out and
Yeah.
you talking about your disdain for it
Yeah.
and all of that. And I remember probably one of the biggest contributing factors for it also was because that was around the same time that you were really reading and getting into The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah.
And so these
you
were
want
two
to take your zombie fiction seriously.
these are
Yeah.
two like zombie series that are so unbelievably different in so many ways.
Oh man, that's such a good point. These two things are literally opposites of each other.
Yeah.
And I would definitely say one definitely had a much bigger influence on me.
Right,
Yeah.
because you're all about writing
Yeah,
And
and
stuff.
quality of story.
and quality of story, which at least the comic, because
Yeah.
I didn't watch the TV show, I've heard bad things about it.
Yeah.
But the comic does really well, and I read I think the first three of the collected
Yeah.
paperbacks that
Yeah.
were released for it. And the writing is really, really good.
So
Yeah.
you've read like maybe 1/17 of it then.
I read all the way. Yeah, I read all the way through when it very early on. So
Yeah.
people listening, if you've been really into The Walking Dead, you're gonna be like, "Wow, he's read nothing."
Yeah.
Man, like at that point, you might as well like watch Lord of the Rings and then immediately back to back Goblin Slayer.
It was probably like the same general feel
Yeah.
that people would have gotten.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the writing out of the ones that I read, I got up to through while they were at the prison. When they found the prison, they were living at the prison for a while.
Yeah.
And shortly after they got out of there, that's as far as I got.
So a lot farther than you might think.
Yeah.
But it's still like in the grand narrative of The Walking Dead is like nothing.
Yeah. That was their first big trouble.
Yeah.
That was essentially their first big arc.
So that's how far I had read. And
Yeah.
yeah, just I think that because you were already like being whittled down by other series, and then High School
Yeah.
of the Dead just kind of like
Yeah.
It broke your back.
broke
It
your
really
back.
did. It was the straw that broke the camel's back on my part.
It was more like a brick, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody just chucked a brick at you.
Yeah.
I totally wasn't defending it because I don't like it either. But I think one of the main reasons I didn't like it was because I was just sick of zombies at that point.
Yeah.
that's
Fair
also
enough.
fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still think to this day zombies are tired.
No,
they
I'm
are.
still
Agreed.
done with zombies.
Yeah.
Except for like maybe Resident Evil, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they're not zombies, remember?
yeah, he's not a zombie.
he's not a zombie.
All right, bro.
Yes. I was feeling it kind of the similar vein as you were. It was shortly after high school. Just like big tropes of like series that were pretty popular and had like certain tropes to it. And then just like all the series started doing it. And all, they were all popular series. More and more harem-based shows. Like Love Hina had come out when I was in high school, and I thought that was very interesting. Negima also similar vein, both Ken
Same
Akamatsu.
author. Yeah.
And then there was just a whole bunch more harem shows that started coming out, where all the girls have less and less personality
Yeah.
with each new show that keeps coming out.
Law of diminishing returns.
It was like they were cloning them. And
Yeah.
they were getting progressively more
Multiplicity.
screwed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Multiplicity, and then we finally get to shows where the girls are licking pizza going, I like pizza. I like pizza.
Oh no, we've cloned the clones too many
They
times.
cloned the clones too many times. And just so many shows that were doing that. I did not like harem anime. More and more ecchi related shows coming out
Yep.
where it's just all like girls, no personality, boobers. You like boobers, right? Have some boobers.
There you go.
If those shows are coming out.
Play Senran Kagura.
Yeah. And then
This is what you like. This is what you like.
you like this.
Oni Chambara on the Wii.
Oh god.
Bikini Zombie Slayer.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Oh gosh.
And then shows that I did like started diminishing in quality as well, such as Bleach, Naruto, and many. Shonen Jump started looking less and less like the perfect manga company of all time,
Yeah.
and became just another manga company.
Yeah.
Do you
And-
think that it was never what you thought it was, and you just came to realize that?
I think probably there was part of that, but nowadays I've been seeing gems, like really strong gems coming out of Shonen Jump again, like Wacky Macky,
Yeah.
and One Piece is somehow still brilliant.
Yeah. One Punch Man.
One Punch Man is amazing. And so, but yeah, just shows like that. Sword Art Online came out. And then, as well as a bunch of really like dark shows were coming out and were really popular.
Yeah.
And it just kind of made me sick. And it was about that time when I started developing
Your
my own personal preferences
okay
towards
yeah.
anime.
Yeah.
And so instead of just being a fan of anime in general, I became a fan of just certain shows.
Yeah.
And that's kind of still hung out. I still really like shonen action series that are well written and smartly written and good art in it. But I've really developed a fondness and love for slice of life comedies.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I'm
Like-
with you on that one.
Lucky Star, Nichijou, Azumanga Daioh, Yotsuba, and
Yotsuba.
and stuff like that. And those are just series that I've really come to really appreciate, and it kind of helps me build my comedy chops.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
this is the kind of anime that I've kind of gotten into. But yeah, just all this like oversaturation
Yeah.
of like, and isekais were becoming more and more popular and just dumb to the point where I couldn't even enjoy the actually good shows.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned in the last episode, I did not watch Kill la Kill when it came out.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, oh, it's another booby anime. Great.
Sure.
Wonderful. There's nothing there that I'm interested in. And now that this last year, I finally started watching it for the first time because you defended it.
I did.
And I trust your taste in things.
No. Well, I appreciate that. I still carry the bruises, by the way.
I know.
These wounds won't seem to heal.
And so I started watching it. I was like, there's a lot more to this series. Like, this series knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
And it's self-aware.
Yeah.
And because of that, I feel like it's so much better
Yeah.
than it otherwise could have been. Plus, it's kind of made me look at Studio Trigger as like, wow, this is a studio that cares.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to animation quality. That's another thing that also kind of made me back off a lot, is the quality of animation, like, has dipped severely in so many shows. Even, somebody was like, even Dragon Ball, the series, like, when it was initially animated for DBZ and Dragon Ball, like, they really did a really good job of, like, smooth animation and just, animation in general. Everything looks good. Even their in-betweens and their smears, beautifully done. But now, it's not good anymore.
Now they don't have to try. They don't have to try anymore.
Because they, quote-unquote, fix it on the Blu-ray version.
Yeah.
So the TV version looks like garbage.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the mentality that so many animation companies have been doing. There have been times when watching even JoJo, when I'm like, what are they doing with the art in these and the animation? And I'm like, I just wish more studios like Madhouse and Trigger and other studios like that would get to animate more series because they care about the animation.
Yeah.
But it's expensive, though.
It is very expensive, though. And so, like, I understand, but that's something that really takes me out of watching anime, is if it's clear that they were rushing the animation and not giving it their all. David Productions goes back and forth with me. I think Part 5 was really well done, but there have been scenes and stuff in the previous parts of JoJo where I've just been all like, that doesn't look good.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, just the animation quality dipping and isekais and other series that are just like, just appealing to the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
Have really almost like made me want to quit anime and manga in general. But Pieman's a hero, and he finds good stuff to show me.
Yes, I'll shift through the mounds of garbage to find the food to bring back to my nestlings.
As
The
we
stuff
chirp,
that's edible.
as we chirp, mouths agape, crying, "Lord, feed us."
Yeah, so my fall from anime was... I feel like it was a lot more straightforward, because it kind of began and ended with Naruto and Bleach.
Oh man!
Because, like, I followed those shows, like, religiously for the longest time, like, episode by episode, like, just eating it up. And then they both got overstuffed with filler. Like, Naruto had, like, a 3-year what was it, like, 3 years or so? Like, maybe even more of, like, filler.
Yeah.
Where just nothing happened, and then Shippuden happened. Bleach did the same thing with, like, a lot of the arcs that they went through, where they stuff in filler arcs, so just nothing happened with them for multiple years.
Multiple beach episodes.
And then they came back after 3-4 years or something like that, and then they became straight doo-doo.
Yeah.
Like they can't, like, the long anticipated return of these shows that I loved, and then they're, like, not what they used to be. They just became bad shows.
Yeah.
Was just kind of like, okay, you know what? I'm just kind of done with this for a while. And I still had my outliers here and there. Like, I'd watch, my Studio Ghibli films every once in a while and really enjoy those. Go back and read stuff I've read before, like rereading Trigun and stuff like that. That was always fun. But, like, more or less fell off of anime after, like, those two disappointments, and then tried years later to get back into it when my friends told me about a little show called Sword Art Online. And Sword Art Online was my High School of the Dead. For you. It was just like, you know what? I'm done with all of this.
My heart bleeds for you, Michael.
And then again, same situation. I just fell off of it for a while because there was nothing good. And then, like you said, it just became more isekais, more... I don't even want to, just say it's, trope shows, because tropes wouldn't be tropes if they weren't successful, but I think the bigger problem would more specifically be they don't disguise them very well, so they're very lazily used tropes, and it's very barren very bare as to what they're trying to do. So just more of that, more tropey shows, more isekais, and the scene wasn't for me for a while, right up until, I discovered JoJo, and the JoJo anime came out, and that got me, right back in.
I tried to get out of the life, but I'm back in.
And then they gave me something really good.
Yeah, it did.
And then I've been kind of halfway on there. I've had to think about it. I like anime. I like the aesthetic. I like what a lot of the individual shows do, but I haven't watched a ton of anime or even read a ton of manga, at this point. Not as much as I initially thought, because I was thinking of shows and books that I've read up until this point when we talked about doing an anime episode, and I was actually thinking it's a much smaller list than I was expecting.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's okay. That's why you have moments like this where you're able to talk about stuff you're not so familiar with.
Yeah.
Shall we mention what it is that got us to even look at JoJo in the first place?
Huh. Okay. Well, I want Pie Man to wrap up first.
No, that's going to be
something
special.
All right.
I just wanted to mention the reason why we all decided to even look at JoJo is because the best friends were the ones that were talking about it all the time.
I got into it because of you.
Yeah, well, I did it because of the best friends.
Yeah, I didn't... that was where I first heard about it. Mm-hmm. And it's and then when I saw it started getting around, I saw it was coming out on Toonami, and then they start putting the anime out. I was thinking it's that thing that they were talking about, maybe I'll check it out, and then really got into it from there.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the initial spark was because the best friends were talking about it a lot and were saying how great it was. And that was before we were getting really annoyed by them. So
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so special thanks to those bozos.
Yeah, special thanks to that.
You helped us get back into anime.
Yeah.
Let us all return to the giant crater where they used to be. And reminisce as to
Ground Zero.
Thanks
I don't think
JoJo.
it's really so much a crater as it is just an abandoned building.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much worse. Inappropriate.
It's a warehouse in Maddentown.
Yeah.
Well, it's an abandoned building that has a thriving shanty town inside of it.
There you go.
And the shantytown is the best friend subreddit.
Yeah. Oh boy, I think it's time.
Time for what?
For you, Pie Man.
Pie Man.
Whoa, are you okay? You just winced super hard.
I swore I wouldn't think of it again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I had to bring it up, but it's something that I think needs to be talked about.
What destroyed it for me?
Yes.
What absolutely annihilated every ounce of joy I once had?
Pie Man, who hurt you?
Who hurt me? I'll tell you who hurt me. It was a 5-episode OVA. It was by, I think, some of the people who worked on Ike Tosin. That was an Ichi Fighter. And it was another Ichi Fighter anime that they did. And I can't remember the Japanese name for it. But the English dub name was Masters of Martial Arts.
Oh!
Yeah.
It sounds like he unearthed a memory for you.
Oh,
He's seen it.
No.
He's seen it.
He showed me it.
He's also seen it.
I just saw you blank out with a 1,000-yard stare.
Oh god. I wasn't ready.
I am surprised you
I
didn't even think
completely
about it.
forgot.
Well, he spent time forgetting about it, and then you also forgot about it.
I felt something the moment you started saying it was a 5-episode OVA. It was an ecchi fighter, and I was all like, "What? I feel something. What's happening right now?"
I think the Japanese name is like Zetai Shigoken or something like that.
Say it-
Zetai Shugeki, Platonic
Oh, yeah.
Heart.
Say its English name again for me.
Masters of Martial Arts, right?
Oh gosh, man.
Yeah,
Is that what it
Master
was?
of Martial Arts.
Master of Martial
I
Arts.
need to remember the one that killed us all.
Yeah, no, it was.
I didn't see it.
It
I
was
just heard
I
about
saw
it.
it. Pieman showed
really
me.
bad.
Yes.
It was so
So bad.
irredeemably awful in every conceivable way.
I remember being shown the finale with you, and I got mad.
So, and the problem with the finale is that they have this huge, dumb, out of left field plot
Yes.
twist at the very end.
that kills it all.
That it's like it crams the entirety of every season of The Sopranos into a 15-minute dialogue barf.
Yes. And it's all dark. It's all dark.
It's exceedingly dark and rather disturbing
Can
and
we-
not comfortable to watch.
Can we try to explain a synopsis?
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
Josh needs to know.
Okay, so there's a martial arts tournament where it's a tournament for the Platonic Heart, and it's open only to women because
Yes.
only women can access the magic of the Platonic Heart, which is a magical jewel.
So far, pretty basic stuff.
Yeah,
Pretty basic.
it's
Nothing weird.
It's a
here.
magical jewel that can grant one wish to whoever
Like
holds
Skullgirls.
it.
yeah, I was gonna say this
Yeah.
sound
It's
so
the Skull
far.
Heart.
So far, it's Skullgirls.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's
keep
basically the
explaining.
Skull Heart, and it's this big tournament, and so all of these like super cool martial arts ladies all enter, and the first 5 or 4 episodes are just various fights that the main character fights in her competition to win the Platonic Heart. But then at the very end, there's a big reveal that this entire time was just a big dumb trick.
Yeah,
and that
But this, by the way, this is the last episode. The last 15 minutes of the episode.
the last half of the final episode, they have this huge explanation where the entire tournament was just a big trick.
Yes.
By the protagonist's best friend, who it turns out isn't really her best friend,
Yes.
but is her mortal enemy and has been for their entire lives, even though they're childhood friends.
Yeah.
Because the best friend's mom is a martial artist who fought against the protagonist's mom back when they were martial artists and
Yeah.
was grievously wounded.
By the
And
way,
so, in a plot for revenge, she raised her daughter to groom the protagonist to fight in this tournament that is actually run by an organized crime ring to kidnap women to sell as slaves.
yeah, this is all in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, none of this was hinted at.
This is when we find out that not only is the protagonist the worst protagonist ever made, but we also find out that everyone she loves hates her guts.
Yeah, literally every single character.
So not just the best friend.
No, yeah, all of them. Everybody
Turns
was
out
in
all
on
the
this.
supporting characters, the boy that she liked,
Yeah, he's
her best
he's
friend's
like the
parents-
head of the crime ring.
Yeah, they all hate her guts, and it just sort of hangs on that.
Well, so the main character has this like devil trigger thing
Yeah.
where she'll get like super angry and go hog wild.
By the
and-
way, this wasn't introduced in any other episode except for this moment.
So this is the first time she's
No, I
double-triggering.
want to say that they introduced it earlier, but
Okay.
it was something she like fought against.
Yeah.
And so
So she pops her devil
pops her devil trigger and kills them all.
Like, bad.
And then the episode ends on a cliffhanger where she confronts the best friend's mother, who was the architect of this whole scheme.
Yeah.
And it ends on a black cut cliffhanger as she confronts her.
And I'm guessing they never did anything with this again.
No.
Thank the Lord they never did.
No. Well, I think it had a manga adaptation. I believe it also had an adult game of some sort.
I bet it did.
I'm not sure exactly what kind of game it was, but that's
Oh,
okay.
man.
I don't care. Yeah, it was.
Oh.
It destroyed me. It destroyed my soul. It just blasted me apart.
And then you had to spend the next years reassembling your atoms.
I really did. It actually kind of hurt me inside. I know it sounds kind of stupid to say, but it
I'm
really
totally on board.
it disturbed me
I'm totally
that
on board.
something could be so irredeemably terrible.
And you know what? I shared that with you. You and I shared that moment and that pain together.
Well, it was so bad that I couldn't stand having the DVD.
Yeah.
It made me feel dirty owning it.
Did you burn it?
I'll tell you what I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
It made me feel dirty owning it. And so I thought, I need to get rid of it. I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
I do not want this in my possession.
This is all real, by the way. He's not exaggerating.
I'm not exaggerating, and this is going to sound super cringe because it's really kind of weird, and
Yeah.
I took it really far.
Yeah.
But it's also funny.
Yeah.
So I decided I need to get rid of it. But so at first I thought, well, maybe I'll donate it to the local thrift store. I'll just throw it in the bin. But then I thought, no, I can't do that because that means it still exists. And someone's going to buy that from the thrift store and they're going to watch it and I'm going to hurt them.
You're going to ruin
I will
anime
be-
for someone else.
Yeah, I will be responsible for hurting someone else. So I figured I need to throw it away. But then I realized that's not going to do it either because it's still there. It's still going to be floating around.
A dumpster diver might get it.
Exactly. The fact that it was still in existence was too much for me, so I
Yes.
decided to destroy it.
Yes.
And so I took the disc out of the case, and I set up. We had a fire pit, and I set up a fire, and I put an old rusted grill on the fire, and I melted them down to big globs of plastic. That
You did burn it.
that I
Yeah.
then took to the industrial furnace that we had in our shop
Why
and-
did you have an industrial furnace?
Hold on.
in the shop. Yeah.
to heat the shop.
Okay.
And I put it in there on full blast and burned it down to crumbled, blackened bits of burned plastic that I then crushed up into a powder, divided it into 4 sections, put them each into a plastic bag, and threw them away at different trash cans for different parts of town.
Yeah.
So that they would never again be united.
Yes. I love it.
And
That's
the
all
DVD
true.
could
I'm s-
not
I'm
hurt
s-
anyone ever again.
I'm so happy to be right that you burned it.
Yeah,
By the way,
did
when,
more
by the way,
than burn
when you
it.
said industrial furnace, I mistook you for a second and thought you had an incinerator.
well, no,
like
no.
like
It-
an incinerator you throw like medical waste into.
It was a big giant wrought iron furnace that was
Okay.
meant for heating an entire shop.
That makes
and
more
so
sense.
it gets really hot and really hot fires. And
Yes.
so I just threw it in there while it was on full blast.
Yeah.
So great.
Oh,
So
man.
great.
This
yeah, and
story-
I-
I was just reading the
that-
synopsis right now. Man, it is trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really, really bad.
I'm willing to believe you're underselling how bad it is.
Oh, buddy.
man.
You know what? I'm not going to challenge you because I don't want you to have to see it.
Yeah.
Please don't look it up.
If
Do
it's
not
even
support
well, like
this anime.
if it's even half of what you said.
Yes. Don't.
Oh man.
And those are how deep the wounds go.
These wounds won't seem to heal.
Yes, and from that pain, I realized that not everything is good. That, in fact, the world is inherently evil.
Did a piece of your heart go with that disc?
It did. I sank into nihilism.
And now
Yeah.
we have how you are today.
And now we have all is dust.
And here we are.
All is dust. All is dust.
That's wonderful.
You know what? Good job. Good job.
Do you think I did the right thing?
I
think
I
so.
think you did the right thing. I'm very proud of you. I am legitimately very proud of you.
Okay, well, at least there's that.
Yeah.
I'll take solace in that.
Like solace in this. It's okay. Paimon.
Yeah, but you can look at the bright side. You destroyed a great evil.
This is the moment in the anime where Paimon would open up his shirt and show this insane scar that he has. And it's all like, I sustained this wound from watching that. And now it, like, every year it aches.
On this day, I feel a twinge of pain.
On the eve of which you destroyed it.
Yeah.
I can feel the part of my soul that it took with it.
It still hurts.
But it's a price I had to pay.
I almost want to just write that into Days and Colbert and make that canon in Days and Colbert and check it out and make it that it's a divine wickedness, like an insanely old wickedness that's still trying to bring itself back together. But we must band together to destroy it once more.
That's really good.
Someone has
Okay.
reassembled the disc. How?
No. See, it needs to be where you're like in a low lit room in your lab, and that's when you're already working on stuff. And like, it's a good day. It's a good day at work. You're making a lot of progress. None of the test subjects have died, and then that's when one of the germs or even Smiter comes in, and he's like, "My lord, what is it?" "It's the disc, my lord." And that, mind you, your back is turned. Your back is turned. The disc. It's the disc, my lord. It's returning. Then that's when that slow turn.
I feel like a beaker needs to break or something.
You're currently mixing some chemicals and you drop your beakers.
The chemicals burn through the floor, by the way.
Yeah. Slow shot of the glass shattering against the concrete.
Oh, wait, actually, you know what? Slow shot, it falls, and the entire time you hear, "Ah," there's some sort of, like, operatic vocalization playing in the background. Or we could just do,
So yeah, any people that are listening, if you're watching the video version, feel free to comment if there was ever any anime that like
wounded you.
wounded you in such a way.
Yes.
Or probably not even as dramatically, but like,
Yeah.
or even if you even watch anime or whatever.
Yeah.
But now I think it's time
Yes.
to take
Yes.
our very first ad break.
Oh. I'm significantly less excited.
No, we're gonna do questions afterwards.
Yes.
So, we're going to go ahead and take an ad break really quick. The video version probably won't have the ad break,
That's okay.
but the audio version, because
We need it.
we need it. So,
We'll be after these messages, we'll be right back. So basically, it's a wound that pusses every once in a while.
Right.
That you need to like go back.
every
and
heartbeat it throbs.
and it just a little bit out.
That's what all the gauze is for.
That's
Yeah.
what all the gauze is for. I haven't had fresh gauze in so long. I had so long.
And they say TV doesn't cause pain.
That's right. Oh, hello there, friends.
Welcome back.
We didn't see you there.
I saw you.
Why didn't you say anything?
You were talking.
You mean they heard all that?
I can't guarantee.
Welcome back. Thank you for coming back.
Yes. Guys, something very special.
We had questions, but more importantly, you have questions.
Yes, I have questions. I was talking with some of my friends from Discord, and I asked them, what are some anime-related questions that you would like to ask us, the members of the Mythos podcast, these experts of anime? We've seen every anime. So,
This is perfect.
We know.
This is perfect after Josh already established his knowledge. This is the perfect time for this.
I'm perfectly qualified
You're
for this.
perfectly-
oh, so we have some that are
I've
written
seen
down.
Avengers twice.
We have some that have been written down.
Oh.
But I also have one in a voicemail format.
Okay. Yeah.
Would you like to do the voicemail one first?
Sure, why not?
Sure, yeah.
It's from our old pal, Will Holland.
Oh.
Shout outs to Will Holland at the
Yeah.
Conversations About ... podcast.
Big Will Holland,
Big Will Holland.
which is the actual name of his channel.
Yes. We actually have a voicemail concerning the previous episode, as well as a question in a separate voicemail.
Okay.
So I think we'll go ahead and we'll listen to what he had to say about the previous podcast.
Okay.
And then we'll do the question one.
All right.
So here's what he had to say about our previous episode.
First of all, DuckTales revival, yes please, so down for that. 2, Gargoyles revival, so down with that as well. I like the fact that Disney Plus has the Goliath Chronicles in that show, but to be honest, most people that are fans of Gargoyles don't even consider the Goliath Chronicles as canon. That's a whole other thing. Third of all, whatchamacallits on the Samurai Sword are candy bars. And the last thing, and more important than anything else, is that I can't wait to hear the next episode of the show. Take care, guys. This is Will Holland with Conversations About ... Take care.
Oh.
There you go. Whatchamacallits are the samurai swords of candy.
They are.
I thought we established it was Butterfingered, but all right, I'll respect his opinion.
Well, no,
Yes.
Butterfingers are the katanas of candy.
Thank you.
The whatchamacallit is that, like...
Wakizashi.
What is...
Wakizashi.
No, I was going to say, what's that straight edge sword? The one of the 3 treasures of Japan?
Oh!
The grass cutter?
Yeah,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
I can't remember either.
No, that's a good cut. That's
Yeah.
good. That's a
We'll have to
that's a
look
nice
it
reference.
Okay,
Good job.
so now we'll
Oh yeah, question.
we'll do his anime question now.
All right, hey, little birdie told me that you guys are taking questions, so I'm going to take a question concerning anime. So here's the question. If you could live in any anime-based world, what anime-based world would you live in and why? There you go. Thank you guys for your continued entertainment and appreciate you guys and what you do. And by the way, Jim Crow getting out of the vault. Yeah, Disney's not never going to let that happen. Anyway, guys, you take care.
Our attempts to free Jim Crow were unsuccessful, unfortunately.
Well, I'm ready to sign a petition. It has a maximum signage of 4.
They had that thing locked in a gravity well in the vault. He's right. It's never coming out of there.
Jim Crow will never be released from the Disney Vault.
We tried, we couldn't get him out.
Okay, so
Anime World.
anime world that you could live in, what would it be and why? I already have an easy answer because it's the same answer that's always been, because I'd say every couple years or so there'll be
Yeah.
like people online, they'll have like a list of fictional worlds and be
Yeah.
like, if you could live in any of these worlds, what would it be? And people are like, oh man, I'd like to live in the Dragon Ball Z world so I could shoot lasers out of my hands.
Sure.
No, you're gonna die.
You're gonna die.
You are gonna be in the crowd that Majin Vegeta blasts away.
He does.
You're gonna be part of the human race that like Majin Buu just kind of like walks around Kame House or
Yeah.
not, the Kame's
The
lookout,
yeah.
and then he just points up into the air and just kills everyone on Earth.
Yeah.
With a single blast, literally referred to as the human eradication beam,
Ray, yeah.
Yeah.
and just kills everyone.
Yeah.
People forget that happened,
Oh, yeah. He was a great villain.
and nobody did anything to stop him.
yeah.
Well, they couldn't.
No. What world, brother?
So, the easy answer would be the world of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Nobody dies in the world of Pokemon.
They just faint.
Yeah, they just age.
Yeah.
The only
Sometimes they don't even do that.
Pokemon canonically die in the world of Pokemon, but not from battles.
Yeah.
They just get old and die.
Yeah.
And yeah, the free healthcare. You just go out and...
Well, free for Pokemon. We don't know what humans are paying for their health insurance.
Well, I've never seen a human hospital in all of Pokemon, so presumably people just don't get hurt and don't get sick.
Well, that's convenient.
This might be just one of these a weird false memory, but wasn't there like a human hospital that got destroyed by that giant tentacle?
You're so right.
I don't think it was that. It wasn't a hospital, but it was a building because the
Yeah.
entire city got flooded.
Yeah.
And,
There's a lot
and
that
Tentacruel
happens.
was just toting around, and he slammed into a whole bunch of buildings.
We are the Tentacool and Tentacruel.
Tentacle.
So yes, the world of Pokemon. There's only one gun that exists, and it belongs to that guy in the Savari Zone, and he got cut out of the series.
If I could inject a little, take you guys to Flavor Town for a second on that answer,
Yes.
just because I
Yes.
think this would be a fun modifier. Specifically, if you want to pick a city to live in, maybe live in like Rhyme City,
Rhyme
Yeah.
City would be right.
because Rhyme City seems like a fun place to live.
Yeah, but crimes happen there.
Yeah, well, they happen everywhere.
Guys, they're rhyme crimes.
Yeah, they are.
You
Rhymes
do
for
the
crimes.
you do the Mr. Rhyme crimes. You do the Mr. Rhyme time.
So yes, world of Pokemon.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
I'm turning over and I'm just looking over at our manga.
At our stack of manga.
You know what? FMA.
Film That Alchemist?
Yeah.
Would you be worried about getting melted down into a Philosopher's Stone at some point?
I'd be scared of that.
I think that would just be a reality I would have to be aware of. Like just like that could happen in the back of my head.
Would you...
Because you can alchemy ends up becoming this skill that you can work at. You don't have to necessarily be born with it unless you're unnatural.
How close to the capital would you live? Because the closer that you live, the more subjugated you are, but the farther away you live, the least safe you are from invaders.
That's true.
Yeah.
You could live like in Risenbol, where it's okay, I guess.
I would live in Risenbol, and I would attempt to study as much as I could into alchemy. I probably would not be very good, but I would be a hard study.
It'd still be fun.
It would still be fun.
Yeah.
Look, guys, I can make a horse.
Oh no, it's messed up real bad.
It's
I feel like it would actually be really fun to like go to the FMA world and actually like learn how to make automail.
That's another great thing.
That would
you
actually-
don't even
that would
have
be-
to be an alchemist.
That would actually be a pretty great career.
Yeah.
Automail technician now at ITT Tech.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
ITT Technical Institute.
Education for the we're closed.
Oh.
Where nobody came and joined. Our ads didn't work.
What about you, fellas?
Gentlemen?
My
Mental
goodness.
That.
It's a tough one, right?
There's a lot.
I mean,
to
Pokemon's
pick
the
from.
easy answer, but
Yeah.
like,
The easy answer.
I think it's also-
How come nobody ever answers Pokemon? then?
it's also hard because a lot of anime worlds suck.
Yeah, they do.
They're designed to be
right.
tough. Yeah.
So most of them are.
Yeah. You could choose a slice of life one that you like.
Yeah. I live
Well, is
in
that
the
just
world
the
of
real
Lucky
world?
Star.
Yeah,
It's just the real world.
Yeah, that's just the real world.
You can't choose any of those because it's like, oh, I want to live in.
Can you pick any non-anime world and just say it's an isekai?
Nope.
All right.
I want to live in Gunsmith Cat's time. That's just the 1980s.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's a lot of crime that happens in Gunsmith Cats.
well, yeah, because it's the 1980s.
Because
Yeah.
of the 1980s.
And rules didn't exist back then. Gunsmith Cats was one of those series where I was just all like, the art's really good, the story's really good, but this is a lot of sadness going on right now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling sad.
There's a lot of crimes.
It's a lot of crimes.
But there's also a lot of gun fan service, though.
There's a lot
And
of
just
gun
plain
service.
fan service, too.
Yeah, there's
Regular
some
fan service.
Yeah.
service in there as well.
Plenty of that.
Mostly gun fan service, though.
Yeah.
You get to see the gun's underwear all the time.
Oh, so much.
Oh, all the
The,
time.
the breeze comes through and you just see the undergarments of all the guns.
The guns go to the hot springs.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
right.
yeah.
I think the world of Space Dandy would probably be fun.
That actually looks super duper fun. I've seen the anime, and it's pretty fun. That wouldn't be a bad choice, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the Space Dandy. Because it's a very sort of lax
Yeah.
take on space exploration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, you could roll with that.
Well, I want to live in the world of Berserk.
Ah, nice.
Oh man.
Big tough guy.
Yeah, no, so I can find a Bailet and become part of the God Hand.
Your chances of finding Bailet would be pretty good.
I think so. I think I'd be down for the challenge.
You just have to surrender your soul, right? How do you find a Bailet?
You just find one.
You just find
just
a
gotta
Bailet.
find one.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. People
Yeah,
are
no,
finding them all the time.
I believe that. I believe that. Right on. Shall we try our next question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Should we randomize them or should I just go down the list?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll just go down the list.
just go down
Yeah,
the
go
list.
down the list.
This is in order of which I received them.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to do this one first.
Flip the script. I'm
So,
gonna do it reverse order.
Gebs has a couple. I was confused by the first one, so I'm going to try and
second
read
one?
it. If it's too confusing, we'll do the second one.
Okay.
In the genre you guys dislike, objectively, how would you say it could be improved?
Oh. Okay.
So
Yeah.
The genre that we
the
dislike.
genre that we don't like.
How would you
Yeah.
improve it?
the genre that I say I really dislike are isekais, and the isekais.
Yeah.
The vast majority of isekais, because not every isekai is bad.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually heard Konosuba is actually really good and would actually appeal to me a lot. But I think Konosuba does kind of already solve some of those things that I have problems with. One, many of the characters are actually well fleshed out and interesting characters. They start off kind of tropey to like pull you in and
Yeah.
then actually like,
Yeah.
oh no, there's more here.
Yeah.
And there's like actually heart and character
Mhm.
and stuff to it. So that's just to improve the characters, and I would probably like
Yeah.
isekais a lot more.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And don't do dumb stuff like the time I became an onsen.
Which is an actual one, by the way.
He's not lying.
I've seen it.
Yeah. So
I will tackle harem anime.
Okay.
And I think the way that you can improve it, is one, by improving the characters individually. I would say bring down the number of characters that you need.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think...
What, you don't want 15 girls going after the same dude for some reason?
I don't want my protagonist to be a boy toy professor at this all-girls school who is sought after by each class of 20 girls.
Well, that's not even how the harem anime works. The protagonist is always some dumb schlub who just falls into his place.
So, yeah, that's the thing. I'm also going to get rid of the dumb schlub.
He's completely unlikable. Well, not necessarily unlikable, but there's nothing special about him.
Yeah.
Yet, inexplicably, all of these girls are drawn to him.
I'm
tired
changing that.
I'm tired of all these big booby tropes all fighting over the same slice of white bread.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm changing that. I'm going to actually give him a character and give him a character arc. And I'm going to make it that each one of these girls, they initially start liking him. But by the end, they're all going to have different positions of a relationship with him. One will be his girlfriend, one will be a confidant, one will be a rival, one, like, to him, the actual protagonist, like, one will actually, like, keep butting heads with him, as a genuine friend. Another one will continue to be, sort of a lead to him, like sort of a guiding force to see him flourish and grow. Each one of them should actually have their own character arc and become their own full fleshed out characters by the end. And if I was going to improve the plot, I would
Get rid of it completely.
Get rid of it completely. No. I would set it up that I wouldn't say a survival situation, but I would set them up in a situation where they try to run the risk of being professionals in a isolated environment. Like, I don't know, I would put them up in a space station or something, and he's like the only guy there, and he has to figure out how to have the right sort of relationship with each one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Either more professional, one of them in particular way less professional, stuff like that.
I don't know. I don't think you could fix harem anime.
I don't think so. Guys,
That's my take.
here's my pitch. New harem anime. Platonic.
All platonic all the time.
Platonic.
That's my take.
With
That's
no
just a
fan
bunch
service.
of that's just a bunch of friends living together, and
Yeah,
that's
it
just
is.
slice of life.
Yeah. That's my take.
Yeah.
Those are just roommates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So you're saying you want to watch Friends?
No, even Friends has
Yeah.
the relationship pair-ups.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
What do you guys, what would you try to get at?
What do you think?
Me? I don't know. I don't know that I really have a genre that I think is inherently bad.
Right.
So, I have a little bit of difficulty choosing. But, I don't know. One thing that's always rubbed me wrong about, like, competition series is how every single bad guy is that much more powerful than the last.
Yes.
It's always felt kind of artificial and weird.
Yeah, the way that they have to raise the stakes.
And I've always felt like, wow, what if Goku faced Cell first? We all would have died.
Right.
Yeah.
I know it's a really
No, that's
basic
No, that
take, but
that is a big
Yeah.
problem that a lot of anime has.
Yeah.
And it's not like so many shonen anime
Yeah.
we're doing, and that was definitely a thing that definitely pulled me out of so many shonen anime. I remember watching GT,
Yeah.
and I was just all like, I'm done with this show.
Yeah.
Like, forget this show.
well,
yeah.
people hate
When-
GT anyway.
When they were off on some nothing planet
Yeah.
with Goku and Pan, and like Goku's standing there and he's got like a big old grin on his face, and there's just some nothing alien in front of him, just like whatever. He's all like, "Be careful, Pan. He's even more powerful than Majin Buu." I was just all like,
This is just
"No,
some
he's
guy.
not. He's some guy. He's just some guy."
So, I was also going to say isekai. And
No, I
pretty much
wanna
the
hear
same
your take,
solution.
yeah.
Well, I kind of want to pick a different genre since you already picked that one.
Sure.
Do like dark, depressing, heavy stories like Berserk and stuff count as like a genre? I don't know what the name of that genre would be.
We'll go to the judges real
Well,
quick.
I guess drama.
Judges.
Oh, yeah.
What does Ganondorf say?
He says...
He says, Doria.
I'll take that as a yes.
All right.
I guess
I
it
heard
could.
ya in there.
Yeah, I guess it could be summed up as drama.
Doria, man.
Okay.
But like specifically the type of drama where everything is dark, heavy, depressing, and like custom made to make you feel terrible, but they don't balance that out with anything. So there's like there's no sense of like hope at the end that kind of keeps the characters going forward. It's just, what awful things can we do to these characters this week and not make things better? Like, I guess...
Yeah, that's a good point.
I feel like,
Yeah.
I guess, I'm not going to speak for the comics, but I guess it'd be more applicable to the TV show, but like Walking Dead is kind of like that, where the whole show is like, becomes like people breaking down and crying and wanting to kill themselves, and there's like nothing else to balance that out.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. And I could say definitely as it carries on in later seasons, there's a lot of hardcore fans that have a lot of problems with the later seasons.
That's why I want to say the TV show specifically, because you've said that the comics do that.
Yeah, the comics, they have a lot of really cool moments of levity and actual hopefulness, like the birth of little baby Judith.
Yeah.
In The Walking Dead. That stuck for a while before that had its own tragedy.
And it doesn't have to necessarily be like injecting random comedy in there. It just inject some kind of like hope that things can get better for the characters, and that's what they're trying to drive themselves towards.
Exactly.
No, they just need to punctuate every now and then with like a Laurel and Hardy segment. Like Rick pokes somebody in the eye accidentally while he's shoveling.
They have a Three Stooges moment.
That's Rick!
And then the next scene, they execute like 5 kids.
To balance it out, you know?
Yeah. And that's interesting, because, that's a very good point.
Well, what kind of anime are you talking about? Like, I'm trying to think of one like that.
He was saying, like, dark stuff like Berserk and all that, although...
Yeah.
I don't know if you've read too much.
I haven't, but like...
Berserk's more metal than anything.
Yeah, I mean, I just mean that sort of thing. I guess there's more like games and like other stuff I've seen that are like that.
That's fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
I already took your genre anyway. So
Yeah.
I think,
But that's like a secondary that I could pull.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Nice.
Magical Girl Apocalypse.
I could also say romance, and pretty much the same answer you gave for isekai, which is just write it with better characters.
Yeah.
I would probably be more interested in a series as long as it's
like write believable characters that actually have chemistry.
Right, and not just like walking tropes.
Because I don't like romance, and I especially hate forced romance.
Yes.
Anybody who watched the Star Wars episodes know how I felt about the Kylo Ray kiss. That was so forced. I hate it. They didn't need to happen.
You don't get it. They're bound by the Force. They're bound by the Force.
Got it.
They're so bound by the Force.
Yeah,
so bound by the Force that Palpatine was able to exploit that.
Yeah, I also just hate forced romance. Get rid of it.
Forced.
I've read plenty of shoujo manga in my time. And, a lot of the romances in those are very contrived.
Yeah. For sure.
Oof.
And I feel like that's a very prevalent one, too, because it's in literally everything.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay. We'll move on to the next. Thank you, Gibbs, for
Thanks,
that question.
Gibbs. Yeah.
You're a sweetheart, and I love you. Next question comes from Mammoth Rook, who says, "Do you think Japanese animation is better than Western animation, and if so, why?"
Nice.
I'm going to open up right out the gate and say I don't think one is better than the other, and I think both sides have, like, really good examples and awful examples.
Agreed.
I don't think you can... I personally don't feel like you can say one is better than the other.
I think the argument could be made that around the same time that Avatar: The Last Airbender came out, the lines between the animations of and storytelling of Western and Japanese stories have intermixed.
Yeah.
And like Rebecca Sugar adds a lot of very anime-like stuff into Steven Universe.
Yeah.
And even Craig McCracken has a lot of very strong anime influences in Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, and like, I don't remember at the end of which season it was. I think it was season 4. I could be wrong. Of My Little Pony. There's just a big DBZ fight that happens. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I was just all like, I think I'm out.
Yeah.
And that took a while for me to get out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of back and forth that's been going
Yeah.
on with Western and Japanese animation that I feel like they're kind of almost becoming one and the same at this point.
Kind of.
Visually, they might still feel separate, but I mean, there's still like
Yeah.
Avatar: The Last Airbender and Boondocks and other shows
Yeah,
like
that I was actually gonna say Boondocks actually has really good animation in it.
Yes.
Our realities are merging.
Yes.
So
It's the Mandela effect.
I'm basically just going to piggyback off of what the two of you just said, and you basically summarized how I sort of feel. With one more thing to cap off on that, and that is, I agree. I don't think one is necessarily better than the other. I do think that, and the landscape I feel like, has definitely changed. But when I was younger, this was a cultural thing where American cartoons didn't get the chance to be taken seriously, but anime always had a chance to be taken seriously. And that's when you end up having older shows geared towards older audiences, like Cowboy Bebop and stuff.
Well, I mean, Western animation has had its more mature,
Yeah.
entries over the years. You've seen
I think-
Aeon Flux, right?
I think it's more.
Or,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
heavy metal vignettes. I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
Not nearly to the extent that anime
That's what I
was.
mean.
I think
Yeah,
anime
it's
got
volume.
anime got a head start on doing it, but
Yeah.
Western animation caught up.
Yeah.
They are still, they're catching up, and they're just about there.
Yeah.
But that's the point I was trying to make. Is that in terms of volume, like they were so different.
Yeah.
They were so different, and I'm grateful that they're, reaching in tandem with one another.
Yeah.
I mean, the most recent one I can think of is like the Thundercats reboot. I mean, it only lasted 2 seasons, but it was a solid attempt at older storytelling.
Was it? I never saw any of it, so I honestly don't know.
I didn't watch it either.
I haven't watched.
I checked it out.
I actually didn't even know.
I checked it out.
I didn't know it had actually come out, and I didn't know it had ended.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you got anything else on that?
Oh
Anything to
well,
add if
I
you
mean,
wanted to?
no, like objectively, Western animation and Japanese animation, they're not better or worse than one another. They're
Right.
just art
Yeah.
styles and
Yeah.
themes.
What about?
Yeah.
So let me add a modifier to that. What about writing between like Japanese shows and like Western shows?
Those ones are definitely more blended than the art
Yeah.
styles are.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Well, these days, I think if you went back, there'd
Oh,
be a lot
yeah.
more divide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of like older series, when they were brought to America, they were westernized a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes completely redrawn
Yeah.
because just the cultural divides and
Yeah.
what people were used to and what people expected.
Yeah. And I don't remember who I was talking to, but it was many years ago when I looked at Tetsuka's work,
Okay.
Astro Boy,
Yeah.
those really original series, heavily inspired by Disney animation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Heavily.
absolutely.
And now I feel like, and then that was like the birth of modern anime.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's kind of come full circle where now we're getting so many shows that are heavily influenced by anime storytelling and art style.
Yeah, and I think some of that is like people realizing that when they bring over like an anime or something like that, they don't want a westernized version of that. People are more vocal about they want what that is. So I think that's helping bring a lot of that influence to like what's going on in Western animation and stuff also.
I 100% agree. And I think the clearest point I think I've heard of any of that is, yeah, it's not anime. But when people were saying that, no, don't change Yakuza. Let it be Japanese.
Yeah, the Yakuza localization team are fantastic at what they do.
So good, especially Zero.
Zero's really good.
Yeah.
We got to play it for the channel.
Yeah, we do.
And another example would be the fact that we don't really, except for very specific examples, we don't get English language openings for anime anymore, even dubbed anime.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Which I kind of miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some really strong English language anime openings.
Yeah.
The Digimon Frontier opening,
Pokemon.
Card
Yeah,
Captors,
Pokemon.
and Pokemon. is the-
Kirby right back at ya.
Kirby Raven. Yeah.
Kirby.
But like, I think since you brought up Avatar and Boondocks, I think that's a great example to show people when they ask about the difference between Western and Eastern like animation, because those are both really great blends of the two. Because like you look at those and like ask them, you know, what would you call that? Because it's a Western show, but it's like it looks, for all intent and purposes, like it might as well be an anime.
Yeah, and an argument could be made that they are in fact anime.
And then the dialogue starts, and you're like, no, this is super American.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's it's an excellent question. From
Yeah,
me.
from Mehmet. Nice. Thank you.
The next question, and I think we kind of answered it, as Comic Maker was saying, now that it's 2020, a lot of people are doing lists of their favorite anime of the decade. What's your favorite? It's hard to choose what's your top three.
Oh, yeah,
I think we
pretty much answered that.
Favorite anime of the decade, from my case, JoJo.
Yeah.
Master of Martial Arts.
Oh, my left arm just shriveled up a little bit.
Just for variety's sake, I can also throw, just for the 2019 season specifically, throw Demon Slayer in there, because I haven't finished it. I don't know if it's good, if it holds up all the way through, but I watched the first few episodes and it's pretty good.
Did you already run into that little girl that flips the coin and then
Not yet.
Okay.
But that seemed pretty good. It didn't anger me in the first few episodes like Sword Art did.
Yeah. You don't get it. He's the biggest, most special dude ever. Kirito is the best, most special black swordsman. So what's the next question?
The next question, it comes from Lurking Tony.
Ooh.
It says, who is your favorite waifu and why is it Speedwagon? He was joking. His actual question was, do you prefer dubs or subs when it comes to watching anime, and why?
I wondered if this was going to come up.
I was also waiting for this
dubs.
Hang on. I'm going to get everybody a knife right quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody get your switchblades.
Yeah. Whoever answers incorrectly gets cut.
I'm going to say dubs because I like listening to what I'm watching in the language I can understand.
That's fair.
I've always been somebody that doesn't like having subtitles on TV shows and movies because I find them distracting.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Fair. I won't disparage you for that.
Yeah.
Because this is really a preference thing.
Yeah, actually, you guys ran into that when we watched the last episode of The Mandalorian and we tried to catch something someone said. We left the subtitles on, and 10 seconds later, I had to ask you guys to turn them off.
Yeah, you did. We're like, what was it that
you were very
said?
kind about it, though.
Yes.
You were very,
I was like, guys, seriously, can we please turn the subtitles off?
Like,
I can't watch this.
Guys, I don't want to be a jerk, but could we please? And we're like, oh shoot, yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely like a subtitles thing for you.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's fine.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
You should just learn Japanese. That way you don't have to watch the dub or sub.
I didn't even consider that.
Easy fix. There you go.
Easy fix.
I felt a shooting pain in my chest right there.
You okay? Your face is looking a little slack.
Just get you some Rosetta Stone, you'll be good to go.
So
Duolingo.
So you're a very big proponent.
In my personal opinion, I feel like it hugely depends on the anime itself. I am a huge proponent for dubs because I want to support the anime industry and support voice actors. It's some of my favorite voice actors in the world dub anime, and they're really great. Some of the best dubbing companies really do an amazing job to try and elevate an anime and make it more accessible to people here in the West.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of love and respect. There are some dubs out there that I don't like and don't like hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And in those cases, I'd much rather watch it in the sub. Since we've been keeping up with JoJo, all we've been doing is watching it in sub.
Mm-hmm.
And the voice acting in JoJo is amazing in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
And the English voice acting is also likewise very good. So even in just JoJo, I go back and forth on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Dio in the Japanese, I love Patrick Seitz, but
Yeah.
I think most people would agree that Dio in Japanese is the way to go.
Well, I feel like Patrick Seitz is a really good equivalent to that Japanese voice.
He's very, very good, but it's like one's perfect and the other's the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing that the gamble that I always like to see with dub is that occasionally you end up with something really special like Ghost Stories or Samurai Pizza Cats.
That is very
yeah.
true. Oh man, Samurai Pizza Cats.
Fill the hole, feller.
Yeah, because that also got like ghost storied, and
Yes,
that
it did.
like
Did
there-
it?
It
yeah,
did.
That was more just Saban not caring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a combination of the two because they were
I
supposed
am
to get a
Saban.
translated script from the Japanese company, and they just didn't send them anything, so they made up the script for the whole
Yeah,
show.
Wow.
Samurai Pizza Cats is so different in
Yeah.
Japanese. It's
Yeah.
weird. But yeah, I would love to dub anime professionally one day. That's still kind of a dream of mine in the back of my brain.
That'd be pretty great.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a great job.
Imagine,
Listen to the beeps.
sneaking in on JoJo one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, listen to the beeps.
Listen to
I dubbed anime one time
I remember.
at a convention.
Yeah.
I dubbed a single line from Bleach.
It was
Nice.
good.
It was Pawn, right?
We had fun.
What's that?
Or-
No, no,
Wait,
no.
No, I did Ichigo.
oh,
Yeah.
you did each. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll never find it because nobody recorded it.
Yep.
But I
But
did
I
it.
have the
Somebody
memory
must
of it.
have.
I did it in front of a crowd, and the crowd clapped.
They did.
So-
They actually
Yeah.
legitimately really liked his performance.
Yes, so that was great with old Kirk Thornton. So
Those were fun panels.
You get this, Sonic.
you get this, Sonic. So yeah, I'm a big proponent of dubs, but there are some shows where I prefer to watch with subs.
Right on.
Because I like hearing the Japanese voice.
All right, are you with us or are you against us?
Hold on, let me get the knife.
Where exactly do your loyalties lie?
So, I'm almost the mirrored opposite of Jingles. I prefer subs, but there are dubs that I really like. Oddly enough, JoJo, I also tend to flip-flop as well. However, if I, like my true listening experience, I would prefer subs. Because there are certain voice acting performances that are so iconic with specific characters that I feel like, for my personal enjoyment, need to be listened to in a specific way. I like Matt Mercer, but I prefer the Japanese voice actor for Jotaro. Also, when I'm listening to new anime and stuff that are going to be coming out, I typically prefer to listen to the subbed version first, and then eventually move on to the dubbed version. Because it's sort of this fun little game for me where I get to listen to the two different parts after getting used to one part for so long that it's sort of fun for me to listen, and it's like, okay, now what was their take and their idea for this? Because I get kind of bored if they just try to one-to-one copy the way that the voice actor spoke in Japanese, but just in English. So I really appreciate it anytime that they get creative.
Yeah.
That's me. I prefer subs, but I also see the merit in dubs. Pyman?
Yeah, I am totally with you there. I think that a lot of the times the dubs just they can't capture the tone of the original Japanese voice acting, and it's not that it's anybody's fault. I think it's more that Japanese and English are so structurally different from one another,
Right.
that it's really difficult to dub something and have it really mesh with the original tone and intent of the scene in question. So I've always preferred subs. I don't hate dubs though. There have been many dubs from many different anime that I thought were great, but I'm always going to prefer subs overall.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
So we're basically exiled.
So I do have to wonder, though, that brings up an interesting question. If you're somebody that doesn't understand the Japanese language, how exactly do you judge a Japanese voice actor's performance?
By the emotion behind it.
Yeah. I mean, you don't
Yeah, I guess.
necessarily. It's just like literally hearing a language that you don't understand. You can still get out somebody's intent and what they're trying to say based on how they're saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I always wondered if there's ever a situation where somebody listens to like a Japanese voice performance and they think like, oh, that was a great performance, but then you ask somebody that speaks the language, they're like, oh, that was actually like an awful reading.
That's a good
That's
question.
true, I didn't think about that.
I don't know if that would...
I think that when you hear someone talk and act, you can kind of just tell.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter
I do
what
wonder.
language they're talking.
I can get the like emotion part of it. Like you can tell they're kind of like there is something innately human in being able to tell that they're giving it their all,
Right.
Or like if they're checked out.
Yeah.
Right.
Doja and Dio.
But I guess I guess there's like the nitty gritty things of like, are they like messing up their words? Are they saying it in a weird accent, but you can't tell that they are?
Well, yeah, I suppose that.
Like
can
as an
play
English
into it.
speaker that doesn't know any Japanese, I have no idea between like a regular accent and a Kansai accent.
Right.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well,
And
you would if you got used to it. If
That is
If I
true.
knew the
True.
language, I would.
True.
Well, you don't even have to learn the language, but you just hear the accent and you know that's what it is.
That's a really good point. And the same thing for like how we know the difference between Spaniard Spanish and Mexican Spanish.
Right. In the accent. But an example in that same vein, when we were playing Yakuza 0,
Yeah.
and there was... it was a Chinese guy in Japan, and he's speaking
This is legit-
Japanese.
yeah.
But you can hear in his accent he's speaking Japanese,
Yeah.
but he's got a very thick Chinese accent when speaking it.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
I remember-
I didn't even pick that up.
I heard him,
Yeah.
and he says Daijobu. Instead, he says Daichopu.
That's right. He does.
And I was just all like,
There it
got
is,
He's
yeah.
got that
Yeah.
accent. I
All
was
right,
like,
so-
wow.
There you go.
It's just
Yeah.
one thing that I've noticed. And
Yeah.
when Pat was playing it, he had also noted like the thick accent of the guys when you're playing Majima's sections.
Yeah.
Because you're... What's the town that you're in?
Oh, not Kamurocho.
Sotenbori.
Sultanbori.
Thank you.
And he could hear the accent difference
Yeah.
and stuff. And so...
Yeah.
if you listen to Japanese
Yeah.
a lot,
That's a good
you
point.
can start
Yeah.
like hearing the
Yeah,
differences.
it can be done. It can be done.
Just gotta get used to it. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Next question.
Sure. Next question. Oh, thank you, Tony. For
Thank you,
that.
Tony.
Yeah.
So this one comes from a pal, Tina.
Oh,
Tina says, describe each other as 3 anime characters and why.
as 3 anime characters.
3 anime characters.
We probably don't have to do 3. We could probably just be like 1.
Okay. So describe each other as an anime character. So like.
Well, it's because so many anime characters are so one-dimensional that you have to use multiple to
to make a full 3D
Like,
personality.
all right.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
All right. So
three anime characters to make a real person.
Pieman is Frieza.
I like it.
Pieman is Pieman is Frieza.
Your Frieza-
Pieman is also the main bad guy of Ronin Warriors,
Okay, I can
the
dig.
Dark Emperor.
I
But
can
he's
dig.
also Madarame.
But he's also Madarame.
That's a friendly
okay.
human being.
Madarame specifically from Genshin.
From Genshin.
Because there's also a Madarame in Bleach.
yeah, not
Who
that
is-
one.
Or Madarame from Persona.
Or
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
So
Thank
that
you.
was easy for Pieman.
Nice.
You mean Hanaburu Madarame?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
The others, it's tough.
Oh, this is actually going to be kind of tough.
I was kind of hoping somebody would make the joke and be like, Smiter is every isekai hero.
Yeah, you're
Smiter is Kirito.
Yeah, Kirito. Who's the guy in Konosuba?
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, I heard him. He said blah.
I heard him. He said blah.
And the
That's a tough
and the
question.
Goblin Slayer.
And the Goblin Slayer.
Because my edge still remains strong.
That's right.
You're Yodai from Masonic Koku.
Yeah.
You gotta get that in there.
I'm trying to remember that one.
That's the guy.
You're trying your best, but you're kind of a dumb idiot.
Thank you.
I think that you have a little bit of Light Yagami in you as well.
Whoa.
Because if you're very analytical and very clever and smart.
Thank you.
You're brooding.
And also you
sense
want to
of
kill
thought.
people with
Also-
a book if you can.
I probably would.
You can because you carried a Death Note with
All
you
right,
in
so
high
that's
school.
That's Light Yagami.
I don't know if that's true or not.
A Death Note?
I'd like to believe it's true.
I never got my hands on one, but
Yeah,
there were
he-
plenty of
he
kids that
set
had
up a gasoline booby trap in his
All
desk
right.
and everything for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one, but
Yeah.
nicer and more fun loving.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Thank you.
So-
That's one.
I don't think we need to do 3 because that's
I'm
gonna
fine.
be too hard.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Yeah.
that.
But like
If you can
Light-
think of 3, but
Light Yagami, but also Goku.
I mean, I only went the extra mile with Pineapple, but whatever.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
I guess if you can think of 3, but otherwise,
Yeah.
I already popped off with my 3 on
I
Pineapple.
know.
Yeah.
I helped you.
yeah,
What do you want?
to do everyone else.
Okay.
Man, you're about to be Ranma and get drowned.
Let's see. I was about to say Jiggles is Knuckles.
Yeah. Shut up.
Well, Sega is a Japanese company.
Yep.
And there was Sonic
No,
X.
Sonic X.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
anime.
Sonic X.
Let's see. Knuckly Kong.
Knuckly Kong. I don't know for Josh. He's so complicated and interesting. There's no characters that fit him.
He's all in one.
He is all in one. He is every. This could be something we could come back to.
Yeah, okay.
Use
Yeah,
that
why
too
not?
much time.
Yeah, do you want to go on to the next question and then
Sure,
come back to
yeah.
it?
So much
So
thought
thank you,
involved.
Tina.
you,
It's too
Tina.
hard to think.
It's too hard to think.
Here, Tina, why don't
why don't you also have some answers too?
Yeah, you give us some answers. So the next one comes from Otbot.
Oh.
Otbot says, "Have any anime characters inspired you?"
Yes.
Yes,
Many actually.
Both of the guys from Bakuman are very inspirational to me
To both
as
of us.
as a creator.
Yes.
Shujin and Psycho.
Nice. I couldn't remember.
Those are
Thank you.
their nicknames.
Yeah.
It's like Moritaka and
Well, sorry, I was
and
going
he
back
calls
to
him
the question.
Shujin all the time, so I can't remember what his real name is.
Let's see. Ironically, Ash.
Yeah.
Ash, Goku. A lot of shonen heroes inspired me when I was growing up because,
They want to give it their all.
yeah, basically.
Shoot for the stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prove their worth.
Yeah. I had them and Marvel heroes side by side teaching me morals. One was never give up, and the other one is treat people well. Like, be a hero to somebody.
No, I thought you were going to say the other one was always give up.
No, always back down.
Always give
back
up.
Never give up, always back down.
Always back down. Yeah, that would be it for me. What about you guys?
Yeah.
I actually say Rock Lee.
Rock
Yeah!
Rock Lee,
which
yeah.
is slightly awkward because the show basically proves him wrong.
Right.
Because as we all know, Naruto got weird. But I've always really agreed with his hard work pays off attitude.
You're right.
Yeah, yeah. Remember when he was hopping through that first bit of the tuning exam in the woods and stuff?
Yeah.
And he's all hopping around and he's all like, okay, now I need to plan my next step. And then he noticed leaves were falling. He was all like, if I can catch all 10 of these leaves before they hit the ground, then Sakura will date me.
Yep.
But he couldn't do it.
Yeah, because the show itself said Rock Lee was wrong.
Yeah.
Talent is born. Always rely on the chosen one.
Yes.
That's right.
Nothing you do will ever be good enough.
That
Yeah.
doesn't stop Rock Lee, though. That doesn't stop Rock Lee.
The
And
very
it didn't.
reality
And it
of
didn't
his
stop
world
Mike
won't
Guy
stop
from
him.
being the strongest ninja in like that crew.
That's
Yep.
right. Yeah.
After he almost kicked Madarame into oblivion.
Madara.
Madara.
It's two very similar
I don't even.
names.
I don't
Yeah.
even care to remember
That's
anymore.
fair. I don't discourage you for that.
Yeah.
Madara.
Any inspirational?
Griffith, he did nothing wrong.
That tells me a lot about you, and now I'm scared of you.
What? Oh, no, not Griffith.
I kind of feel like not telling you that I have a girlfriend now. Because now I'm worried what you're going to do.
All right, well, you know what Griffith does.
Griffith, do what Griffith got to do.
You know, actually, I'm going to say that I never really resonated personally with anime protagonists that often.
Mm-hmm.
They never really felt like me.
Just anime characters is what it is. Not
Oh,
necessarily
just characters
protagonists.
in
Yeah, just
general.
characters in general.
Huh.
Frieza.
So I always liked. I think his name was Mr. Yoshida, also from Masonic Koku. He was the weird dude who lived next to Yodai, and nobody knew what he did for a living, where he got any of his money, or where he even came from. But he was a wacky dude. He had
So, Tommy, why so?
no, he was cool though. He had costumes for everything,
Oh,
Yeah.
for
nice.
every occasion,
Yeah.
and he knew everything somehow.
Yeah. Oh man,
Oh, man.
some good stuff.
And even though he was a wild, wacky guy, he gave good advice.
You want to be that wild, wacky guy.
I want to be.
he
I
was
want to be
inspired by
Wilson
him.
from Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
Wilson.
Oh,
Mason.
okay. Yeah. Hey.
Howdy ho, neighbor.
Hey, yo, neighbor.
Just making squirrel stew. Want to hear about the latest Poetic Edda that I read?
I feel like Wilson would be a super interesting guy to just sit down with.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe
was
that
cool.
that was the implication of his character.
Yeah, was that he's like a cool guy and knows all the right answers,
Yeah.
even though you never see his face.
Next question.
Yes. So thank you, Oddbot, for that
Thank you,
one.
Ott.
So this next one comes from Sophie Scribbles.
Aw.
Says, what's an anime you would recommend for people that are like starting to watch some uo?
That awo was very,
That was
very
very-
important.
That was-
I was thinking about not including it, but I was just like, I'm going to include that.
All right. So, first recommendations.
Yeah, an anime that you would recommend to people that are just starting out with watching anime. And I feel like it all depends on your age.
Yeah.
And your tastes, really.
And your taste.
It's just like recommending any other show.
Yeah.
Like
pretty much.
we all like Nichijou, but I've met people who don't like that show
Yeah.
at all.
Right. Well, it's really wacky.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
But that's why I like it.
is with that?
Yeah, see, I bounced off of Lucky Star, but liked Nichijou because I feel like Nichijou was more in line with like it made me think of some of the wackier cartoons that I like grew up with.
Yes.
That's fair.
But with like the slice of life anime aesthetic.
yeah.
Yeah. I think Nichijou is just Lucky Star with its inhibitors released.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna recommend multiple. I'm gonna recommend, and I'm just strictly springboarding off of my personal preferences. And I figure if we do that, we'll have a diverse enough list. I recommend Lucky Star. Genshiken. And I'm going to limit myself here to like 3 or something just to keep it short.
Yeah.
And Bakuman.
Those are all good. So yeah, depending on your tastes, if you like action, and combat and interesting characters, My Hero Academia is really good. There's a reason why it's really popular right now. Genshiken is if you're really starting to get into anime, and like it kind of helps you kind of think about what kind of anime fan you want to be. Bakuman if you're an artist and want to make like comics and stuff. Those are all like,
Yeah.
those are all
Bakuman,
really good.
Bakuman always gets us pumped up.
And if you like kind of silly slice of life kind of stuff, Lucky Star is great. If you want that but as if it's on crack, then watch Nichijou.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty much my recommendations.
Right on.
I don't know if you guys had.
I'm gonna say for action, I want to recommend JoJo, but I feel like that comes with so many caveats. JoJo is, I feel like, one of those things that I really like, but it might not be for necessarily everyone.
So
I would say stick to your guns.
I was gonna say when it comes to anime, I feel like JoJo isn't a good anime to start with.
Not to start with, no.
I think
fair
JoJo
enough.
is a good anime to get into after
think-
you've been into anime for a little bit.
I think I'm gonna, for action, I'm gonna say Trigun.
Trigun's
Because it's
really
such a
good.
good...
Nice,
Because
yeah.
it's just, straight off the bat, just a good Western sci-fi, and it's its own original story. It eases you into things.
It's a safe pick, but it's a good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If going on, like what you said for Slice of Life, if you want like wacky, crazy like Slice of Life, I'm gonna say Nichijou. If you want like more kind of calm, like heartwarming Slice of Life, I'm actually gonna say Sweetness and Lightning.
Oh, dang. Hit me with a left field right
Yeah.
there. Sweetness and Lightning does look adorable.
Yeah, it's such an adorable like story.
I remember seeing a panel for it where, like, the little girl, she's eating ramen,
Yeah.
but she eats it like a little kid would, and she's, like, tipping the bowl over, and she's, like, just trying to scoop
Yeah,
it.
I also really like it because the end of each chapter comes with a recipe, like an actual reasonable recipe that you can like cook.
Oh,
That sounds
neat.
nice.
Nice.
So if you also like cooking,
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
so those are some recommendeds that I can do.
Yeah.
What did I say was my favorite manga?
What did you say?
Was that question asked? I was pretty sure it was.
We asked it.
We asked it. You said you've read so many mangas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
Well,
I think you trailed off on talking about
I think you said-
martial arts.
You were talking about Takahashi's.
Oh, yeah, talking
Oh,
about
yeah,
stuff.
Ranma was it.
Yeah,
Ranma.
Ranma, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot what my favorite was. Which I do. I constantly do it. Somebody asks me, and I blank the one that I've always considered my favorite. But so this is my actual favorite manga.
Okay.
I still like Ranma 1/2 a ton.
Yes. That's good.
But and this is also one that I would only recommend if you're more mature, older, because it's got a lot of mature themes in it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's Naoki Yamamoto's Dance Till Tomorrow.
I thought you were about to say Get Backers.
No,
I
why would
know.
I say
Get Backers isn't that great.
I mean, it was all right. I liked
okay.
it. I liked it well enough. But no, not Get Backers.
Yeah.
Dance Till Tomorrow.
Dance Till
It's
Tomorrow. We're going to have to slap a bunch of these on screen as we're going along.
I'll
Yeah.
have to try and remember.
it's kind of a strange rom-com that takes place in 80s Japan.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. And you guys were talking about Slice of Life.
Yes.
I think Yotsuba and is a great Slice of Life.
Yotsuba.
Oh,
If
it's so
you
good.
if you want a series
If you like,
that
if
will
you
make
like Sweetness and Lightning,
yeah,
Yotsuba and is very similar.
Yeah.
it's one of those you can read it and it's a nice story. It's a happy story. It'll make you feel good.
Yes.
One of my favorite bits in Yotsuba was when they're in the supermarket and the dad forgets his wallet, and he strikes this very particular pose where he goes, and he like half squats, and he puts his hands on his butt, and he just pauses there for a good little bit, and Yotsuba sees him, and she's because they were like in mid conversation, and she's like, "Daddy, Daddy," and he's just standing there looking shocked because he forgot his wallet, and she's all like, "Do you have to poop?"
I feel like Yotsuba comes off as like genuinely like a child
Yeah.
and feels very much like a child.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
and not like one of those weird anime kids where you listen to them talk, you're like, that's not how 8-year-olds talk.
Right.
They're not always hungry.
How old is she supposed to be anyway?
They never specified.
I think they
Yeah.
even said he's like, because it's her adopted father.
Yeah.
I think there was a point where he was all like, I don't even know how old she is.
Yeah.
Because she acts like she's very young.
She's puny.
I just assume
Yeah,
she's
she acts
probably
very
between like 5 and 7.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
about right.
And also, as far as specifically just getting into anime and like, even though we discussed technically it's Western written, but it's close enough to anime, and it'd be a really good leaping off point. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes.
If you haven't,
Solid
if you
recommend.
somehow missed that on TV, living in America, watch Avatar. It's
Yes.
really good.
It's
Yeah.
very, very good.
Yeah.
Well, it was until the Fire Nation attacked.
Hey,
Yo.
it's literally the first episode.
And I think it works really great as an introduction to anime,
I know.
the idea of anime also.
Yeah.
I would agree. I was also separate from this question, which thank you, Sophie.
Thank you, Sophie.
That was really good. Okay,
Um,
so we're gonna have to see about wrapping up now.
Okay.
because
Yeah.
we've rapidly run out of time. This was a
Yeah.
lot of fun, though.
it was. I
Um,
don't know. Maybe we'll come back to this sometime later.
I'm gonna hold on to these questions and see about maybe doing some more later.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you
Thank you,
all for
everyone.
listening.
Yeah.
It was truly awesome. I like anime.
I like it too.
It's okay.
I only like it as a friend.
I still love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll go ahead and sign out for now
All right.
as quickly as
This is
was.
the sign out. This is the sign out song.
We're so very sorry that we got it wrong.
This is the sign out song. We're very sorry that we got it wrong.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody,
Yep.
for coming over and hanging out with us. We have been the Roscoe Brothers. We have collectively been the Mythos Podcast.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming along. Sincere thanks from me, Smiter Roscoe, from
Me, Jingles Roscoe.
and our good buddies.
Oh, I'm your good buddy,
Josh,
and it's me. What's my name?
The Dark One.
I don't know, what is your name?
It's impronounceable.
It's impronounceable. It cannot be understood in this plane.
All I know is I need to get back home so I can meditate.
Yes.
Because one day the disc will reassemble, and when that day comes, I must be ready.
We must be ready.
Alright, well, good seeing you, Pie Man.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we're doing outros.
All righty.
All right. Thank
Good
you,
night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.